till they say real in every way.
Hi, welcome everyone to today's edition of Honeybees. We are so thankful that you decided to tune in today. Good to see you. Hope you're doing great. My name is Tai, and this is the lovely
Delores
and
Tabatha.
And we are excited to spend the next little while with you. So don't go anywhere. Please, if you can, share it on your Facebook pages. You can host a watch party and stream it live. We are talking about something that's pretty important, and we've heard a lot about it in the news. So, hopefully everyone can gain something from our conversation for today. But before we dive into our conversation, let's do a little chit chat and see how everyone is doing. Tabatha, what's going on? We missed you last week, girl.
Oh my gosh, I was a little bit under the weather. That was a really cute introduction, though.
Oh, thank you.
Like you covered a lot of points.
Thank you.
It's like you practiced in the mirror or something.
I know, like 10 times.
I know, you're
10
like,
times I
practiced the hair flip and everything. No, I totally believe it. No, you did fantastic. That was
thank
cute.
you.
No, I was a little bit under the weather, and
sorry to hear that.
well, thank you. And then, literally, while you guys were having your the show last week, I got some crazy news. I live in Rhodes Ranch, and with my oldest daughter, my granddaughter, and then at the time we had a roommate, and we found out that she wasn't paying her part of the rent.
Oh no!
For 3 months. How do you do that? How do you not think people are eventually going to ask questions?
For real, right?
So, yeah. Like
3 months?
Yeah, because we moved in December.
Oh my God.
And I'm sitting there thinking, wow, that master bedroom is mine now. I packed her stuff that night. I did not feel well. That's why I wasn't here. I packed her stuff. The next morning, I moved her boxes out and put my shit in there. So she hadn't been coming home either. So when we are like, oh my God, the landlord said she's not paying her part of the rent, and then she's not coming home, I'm like, all right, clearly she's not worried about living here. So in the evening, the next day when I moved my stuff in, I was not feeling well. So I'm like in bed early. It's like 6 p.m. or early evening. And she comes home and opens what she thought was her bedroom door. And all of my stuff was in there.
Wow.
And me in bed. So that created a little bit of a hassle for everything.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway,
that must have been
so
interesting. If I was a fly on the wall. A fly on the wall.
No doubt. And then she went to my daughter and she was like, why did you let your mother do that? Kylan is like, I never let my mother do shit. She just does as she pleases.
Right.
So anyway, she had asked me what's going on, and I said, for God's sake, you're not paying any rent. So I made a couple adjustments. And she was just like, okay. So she left.
Yeah, right.
She left again. Yeah, quite quickly. And then
with her stuff? Did she take
No, she didn't realize that those boxes were hers. Because I'm still unpacking. I own a house and garage full of things. I'm still unpacking and organizing here and there. And so she did not realize that the new boxes in the hallway belonged to her. So I, the next morning, got up bright and early, I always do, and I moved her boxes to the front walkway to the door, so they'd be easily accessible. Put the little bit of furniture she had in the garage. Girl, I don't lift boxes typically. I don't even carry my own groceries, okay? So I'm like, I was flinging boxes and pulling a bed mattress, and I don't do stuff like, I don't even like to pump my own gas.
Girl.
So, anyway. But right? She didn't come until Friday night, Saturday morning. She called my daughter and said, I'm coming to the house and I'm moving your mother out of the master bedroom. I said, the police are about to get called. Not by me. She was about to, because I also changed the lock for her. I changed the lock. Yeah, I changed the lock because I just felt like I should.
Okay.
I mean, legally I shouldn't have, but I did. I changed the lock. So I learned how to change the lock. So anyway, I was like, Kylan, when she comes to the door, she's going to be pissed. She's going to be pissed when she sees her shit outside. It's been there all week. And then I think the HOA is going to give us a letter. But it's okay. It's cleaned up now.
Oh, okay.
And it was nice and neat. It was orderly. It was like...
It wasn't just like...
Oh, no.
Because
that's not my style. I mean, I was orderly about it.
Oh, yeah. Orderly.
So we...
packing up someone else's
right.
house.
So I said, we're not gonna...
You don't live here anymore.
I said, not even for the police, because it's the middle of the night. We're clearly sleeping. So we did not answer the door to the police. And I did not answer it to her. So then she broke in after the police left the garage door.
Oh my goodness.
No.
For real?
So then she came in.
That's
Kyle
crazy.
Ann then goes downstairs and is like, oh, shit, okay. She's like, your stuff's in the front and it's in the garage.
Yeah.
So, and then Kyle Ann went back up to go to bed.
Oh my goodness.
And she stole about $2,000 worth of my stuff.
What?
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I was
What?
like, I'm
Wow.
beating her ass.
$2,000 worth
So
of stuff.
yeah, I'm really
Oh,
not
no.
pleased. So anyway, she's completely
call the
gone.
police back?
Well, here's the deal. I went to the police station on Saturday morning. I had to go
Okay.
to the one on MLK. Do I look like I drive around that area? No.
Oh, don't talk about
So I
it.
had to go down
Don't
there.
talk about
All
that
in
area.
one.
You don't look like a girl.
That's the only
That's
one
a whole
open
nother
on the
subject.
weekend, right?
Okay. Oh my god.
So I go down there with my list of everything that was taken and the estimates, of what it would cost to replace or whatnot. And the gentleman said that
Oh my goodness.
because your roommates, it's a civil matter, it's not a criminal matter. Because what if she was allowed to do those things? I'm like, well, sir, I'm telling you, she fucking didn't. So anyway,
she
so I
just
have
took
to
the
sue
stuff.
her. So I have to sue her.
You
I was
have to
hoping
sue
that
her? Oh,
yeah.
wow.
So
All to
tomorrow
court.
or the next day, I'm gonna go down and file lawsuits against her. And she
Wow.
brought 2 other people from her and my daughter's work, and so I'm naming them as well.
Wow.
They carried my shit out. I mean, her stuff was outside. There was no reason for her to even be in the house.
Right.
I mean, it was
And
separated
of course she didn't
and
touch. I mean, like
Well, I mean, I
everything
put it
that
in
she had in
boxes,
there
but, yeah.
was packed. Like she can't
Exactly.
say you stole any of her stuff. Like can't she
well,
say that?
I have a feeling she will because she lies. Because like she said, she was paying rent.
Uh-huh.
How do you not? So she owes $5,000 to the landlord because she also didn't pay her deposit. Her half of the deposit was $2,000,
Wow.
and her monthly half was $1,000. How do you? So now, unfortunately, we're responsible for that. But she's gone. I have the bedroom, and she used to say that she gets to make the rules, and now I'm like, oh. Who's making the rules now? I think I
guess
am.
you.
I guess I am. So
You're
anyway,
the
that was my
landlord.
week. That was my week. It's over. It's fine. I've been like giddy
You're
all
the
day.
landlord.
Okay.
You make the rules.
Well,
Right,
good.
right.
I'm glad
I
you're
know.
not letting it
Aren't you
steal
glad
your-
you asked? You're like,
Wow, I wasn't ready for like
You were
cops
ready
and
for
stealing
sex.
and
I
like-
know.
Well, that is your favorite topic.
It is my favorite
That
topic.
is your
Oh
favorite
my
topic,
gosh! Let me
but-
tell you something really quick.
Oh no, a new story. A Delores.
Oh my
a new
gosh! No,
story.
I have like 2, maybe 2 stories.
Oh my
sweet
gosh.
Jesus! So
Okay.
you know how like you just know somebody from around town,
Yes.
and you presume they're a certain way.
Okay.
Well, I just love this.
So
lady.
there's like this gentleman
I know, right?
from what I remember, I think I've only seen him once in real life.
Okay.
Like, really thin stature, and I'm a large woman, so, for me, he's really thin
You're a
in
beautiful
stature.
woman.
Oh, thank you. I
Oh, she
appreciate
wasn't
that.
saying she
You
was
got it,
ugly.
I'm just
She's
like,
just saying
Dog
like
I just pack extra
I wear,
11.
I
Yeah.
wear my curves well.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
me too. I'm wearing
So
that
I
in the
know,
right
right?
spot.
We curve him. So, and then he's a
Curvaceous.
little bit shorter
Okay.
from what I remember. I could be mistaken about that.
Okay, a little shorter.
Anyway, there's this post
Okay.
on Facebook.
All right.
And then there's this one gentleman saying, well, I want to compare because he knows he's got a load. I've seen it before. Not in person,
Not in person.
but in pictures. I've seen it. Look,
Oh.
I manage business.
Interesting.
You know me. I manage business.
Interesting.
So I already know he's packing.
Okay.
So he's like, well,
Oh,
we need to
okay.
turn this into a little bit of a contest.
Okay.
We need like 8 or 10 guys. We'll have 3 judges. And I'm like, clearly I'm one of them.
Okay.
Blah, blah, blah. So this other gentleman knew he was packing. I was about to find out. And he sent a picture to be judged. And I'm all, what is that? I was so excited. I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
I think
So-
I better have my water just in case I show.
Right. So all of a sudden I'm like
Getting
predator
hot in
mode. And
Yeah,
I'm
get
like,
out of
can I
here."
touch it? And the poor guy is like, well, I'm getting ready to go to work. Not now. And I'm like, damn. So now I'm like, so never would I have necessarily been like,
gosh, girl.
I want to stalk this man. And now I'm like, I want to stalk this man.
now, she
So
Wow.
now she really wants it.
now I know.
Yeah.
Right. He's a
I'll take
cool
a
dude,
drink
but
to
now he's
that.
a really cool dude.
Wow,
So-
refreshing drink.
he literally said, yeah, people usually have that surprised reaction. And I'm like, yes, I can imagine that they do. So anyway,
Tabatha, like
what?
this?
I know, right? Woo! Exactly like that. Exactly.
Okay.
But
Oh
let me
my
tell you one
God.
other thing. One
Oh
other
my
thing.
gosh. What are we
I'm
talking
so
about
excited
right
about
now?
this.
Oh
No.
my gosh. Okay.
So, like, do you remember the other day, a couple
Oh
shows
my
ago,
gosh.
I was,
Okay.
at the time,
Okay.
I was teasing about having a train for my birthday in June. Well, I can't shake the
At back
idea.
door,
I'm
greenhouse, back door, or something like that. Red
oh,
barn.
no, I'm going to have it at my house. But because I want people to come that I know.
Oh, okay.
I want people that I know. So
Okay.
anyway, but I was half kidding when I said it, and now I'm like totally into it. I think we're going to get a DJ. I think
A
I
DJ?
might know who will do it.
Oh, interesting. Wow.
And then just, have it be a whole little party, but I'm the center of attention.
Oh.
So
Oh, yeah,
I'm
you
talking
got to be the center of attention.
Right. So one guy was like, well, why
That's
don't we
right.
just do an orgy? And I'm like, no, that takes the attention away from me. It has to be a train.
Man, right there.
So then I was like, I know, poor Delores is like, oh, sweet. Goodness gracious. Like, so anyway, but today I was talking to my biker boyfriend and I'm like, can I see you? And he's like, well, maybe, I don't know if I can work it out. He couldn't get all the way to Rose Ranch. So that wasn't going to work.
Okay.
He's like, but at the biker clubhouse, so there's a house that's used for biker, because this is a biker gang,
Okay.
like biker stuff.
Got it.
I don't really know
okay.
what biker stuff is, but it seems kind of scary and intriguing.
Okay.
all in the
I don't
same
know
breath.
anything about those biker things.
Well, I don't either, but I'm learning just little baby pieces, like they do shit. I don't know. But anyway, so he's like, but we could come to the biker club. There's a bedroom in this house. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So then it wasn't going to work for today because I had to be here on time.
Wait a minute, I
That's
didn't talk
right,
about
girl.
that bedroom. Now, does it have a fur rug or anything? Or,
I will check it out tomorrow.
What
But
oh,
then what
maybe
he
a
said,
water
he's
bed.
like, oh,
my
gross. That
gosh.
is so like when
Oh
we were
my
little.
gosh.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
So my first daughter was
I
made
don't
on
think
a
they
water
make.
bed.
I don't think they make
Water beds.
anymore. I don't think they make. I
I
think they
know.
stopped those in the 80s.
They stopped it. Hey, but you never know.
the
or maybe the
90s,
70s.
the
Maybe the
90s.
70s.
Well, maybe
Right.
somebody still has it.
Oh my gosh, a good used one.
Does anyone out there have water
Yep, you never
beds?
know.
So,
I
but
haven't
listen
seen
to
one
what
in
he
so long.
said. Listen to what he said. He's like, we could do Thursday. He's like, because everybody will be over here. They're doing something with new recruits, blah, blah, blah. He's like, oh, but that'd be kind of weird to be in the bedroom when there's people outside at the rest of the house. And I'm like, yeah, that, not to me, but to him. I'm like, okay, I could see where you would think that was maybe weird. He was like, unless you wanted them to join. And I'm all,
What? Music to your ears,
I
right,
was
Tabatha?
like, and he doesn't even know what I've decided for my birthday. So I was like, oh my God, a practice run. And then I'll be like perfect for the party.
Oh my
I don't know.
Gosh, Tabatha,
So
you're
like,
too
and
much,
then
girl.
he
You're
like
too
took
much.
it away
It's
and
like
said,
playing the violin.
I don't know, right? like,
Man.
Oh my
so
goodness,
I don't know.
girl.
We're not doing that tomorrow, but maybe in a couple weeks. So anyway,
Okay.
I might get a trial run with a biker gang. He
Well, I
said
know-
they
I know
really
you-
like that kind of stuff.
But like, I know you said you wanted to get a motorcycle, and
Oh,
once
I
you
do,
reach a
but-
certain
Yeah,
goal
a
in your
crotch
weight
rocket
loss.
though. Oh, and I met it. I'm 4 pounds over it.
Yay, because
104
I think
pounds.
last time you were almost there. Okay, so
Almost
now
there.
you congratulations.
Yeah, so I've lost 110 pounds.
Yay, that's
So that's why I'm all
awesome.
squishy.
You're all
Because it's
squishy?
squishy and wrinkly because when you
Look at
lose
the
100
beautiful.
pounds. Right, but when you lose 100 pounds, things are not as firm as what they used to be.
Right,
They're
I hear
jiggly.
like I
they
hear
jiggle
like
extra.
the skin can kind of like like kind
I
of
have extra.
Loose skin.
loose, yeah,
Get the
loose.
loose
That's what-
skin.
I was like, is it saggy? I mean, like,
Cause I got just a little bit.
huh.
Yeah, it took me a while to turn that.
They have
on.
surgery.
Right.
They have surgery.
Oh, I'll need it. I'll have to get a whole new body. My daughter says she wants to pick out my boobs. She's like, "Can I pick out your new boobs?" And I'm like, "I'm sure you'll
Oh
do a
my
good job."
gosh.
So you don't have those
So-
ones like that?
I don't know what I'm gonna get because she'll pick it out. But
Oh.
there'll need to be some reconfiguring of everything. So
Hey,
Kind
never
of like
know.
just a recontour.
You never know
of
what your daughter
body.
had. Mind, you know how the young ones are.
right.
Yeah, go with the pro
I know
star.
they're probably gonna
The
be
porn
so
star.
perky. I'm gonna feel like they're at my chin or something. I don't know.
No,
So-
no Dolly Parton look. guys.
Right, no Dolly Parton.
Parton
Right.
look.
My daughter will be
Just
reasonable. She said she's
yeah.
found a surgeon that she's been watching like her work and
Yeah.
stuff. So.
Okay.
Anyway,
all
that's
right.
all I
Yeah.
have. That's
That's
it.
all you have, girl.
That's all
You
I
done took up
have.
the whole first segment.
That's the whole. Oh. Did I just?
But
Right.
yes. So real quick before we continue on, let's do a quick shout out to our first viewers who have tuned in. How about we
Killer.
do that real quick? Can we give a quick shout out? I can start off. I'll start off. I would like to send a shout out to Jesse and Maya and all day. Excuse me.
I know you're like, how do you pronounce it?
All die. Rebecca, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name. Rebecca Bruce Garrett. He's very familiar with social media shows. Yay! He helps.
Stalker.
No.
Oh, I have them.
No,
I like them.
He's a friend. He
Oh,
helps.
you call them
He
friends.
helps out with.
I'm teasing you.
Oh my!
I'm teasing you.
No,
I understand. He's a friend. He's a gentleman. I totally get it.
He helps out with Takeover Radio, Las
What is
Vegas
that?
Takeover Radio. They're in a
I
really
know
cool
about that?
internet. They're a really cool internet live streaming radio station.
Oh, I know a couple people. That...
DJ Bad Girl and him. They like kind
Bad Girl.
DJ Bad Girl, yeah. They
hear that.
help lead it up, but it
That's
you know, lead out in that awesome
Is he
venture.
cute?
Yes, he's handsome.
Nice. Hi, Bruce. No.
But anyway,
She said, "I'll take in."
but
Add him to the roster.
yeah. So but anyways, but yeah. So hey to Bruce and Barbara, to John, Melissa, Priscilla, Sharon, Jeremy, and I think that's everyone. Thank you everyone for tuning in. So good to see you. Let's see, Delores, who do you have tuning in today?
I had some. I gotta. When my eyes like to get busy.
Oh,
I
I know, right?
I see Donald Green. Oh yeah, he's pretty much. He's been on it. Hi, Donald Green. Thank you for your support. And he also was watching the good news too.
Oh,
nice.
awesome!
So that
Very
was
sweet.
awesome. And Deacon Harold thing. I don't know if he'll be on there. He's a preacher.
Right? Right? He's
cool.
like, I may have stepped
Yeah.
into the wrong show.
And Rachel.
Which is what Ty's thinking. I may have be hosting the wrong show.
I try to keep it like this, you know. I try to hold it down, you know. Make sure we don't
And
go
then
too
Tommy-
off topic.
Right.
And
No
there's
doubt.
Tommy
Girl, you
that's
could
on-
take us all over the place girl,
I
with your
know, for
stories.
real.
One day, welcome everybody. Because
We're
it's
sorry,
hard for me
Dolores.
to
We kinda
see a
spoke
little
over
bit.
you.
It's a little blurry.
Oh,
Right.
okay.
Me at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Hi to all of her
Hello.
Facebook friends.
Oh, my
Thank you.
I love
See, you
guys.
have a fan club too. I have a fan club. Do you send yours pictures? I do.
You do?
Oh, you do? Oh, interesting.
Yes, I do.
She talking about
I
her
do.
intimate.
I wonder what type of
intimate
pictures.
fan. She's talking about her intimate fan.
So I've got Banyan, Val,
know.
Sammy, John, Cynthia, Maul, Bruce, Johnny, Eric, Wardell, Dirk, Larry, Marcus, Jefferson. I love that name, Jefferson. James, Peggy, another James, Jennifer, Sin City Saint, Amber, Reggie, Lorinda. Aw, Lorinda, I love her. So let me tell you about her real quick. 2 seconds.
All right, go for it.
I met her first day of first grade for my daughter Kyle. So my daughter Kyle and her daughter are friends, and we spoke that day, and we still have some contact. So
Oh, okay.
she
cool.
puts up with me.
Oh, okay, cool. So you guys like became friends because your kids were in the same class.
We did.
Nice. That's
Yep.
that's one of the best ways to make some pals.
Right.
Like if
I
the
agree.
kids start like vibing and they're like, can we have a play date?
Oh, yeah.
I want to. Can we play?
That's my
For real.
That's
Yeah,
my grandkid.
and she has the cutest daughter, and I have the cutest daughter. So
Aw.
clearly,
Oh,
it was a match made in heaven.
Okay, cool. Cool beans. Was that everyone?
That's everyone.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you so much to each and every one of you for tuning in. We really appreciate your love and support. We encourage you guys to, if you want to send us any comments or questions, you can do it so on our pages. So when we're checking our phones, it's because we're trying to see someone else is tuning in, or people are engaging with us in
You're
various
getting
ways.
so good at this. Like, I'm so serious. I'm not facetious. Like, you're just so totally cute at this.
Oh, thank you, Tabatha.
She is.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank
She
you.
is,
Thank
seriously.
you. Thank you. I appreciate that. You're so
She's like, well, you're kind of a pain in my ass,
No,
but
I
you
didn't
give
say
me
that.
practice. No, I'm teasing. She's like,
No.
shut up. Okay, I'm gonna stop and I'm gonna let her do
Oh
some
my
things.
gosh.
Like
No.
She
she's
is
so
such a
in charge.
sweetheart.
She's so in charge.
You
Just love
you
her.
both are so sweet. You both are so sweet.
Yeah,
Thank
she's
you.
such a
We have a
sweetheart.
good time when we get together. We have a good time
Oh,
with
yeah.
honeydews.
Especially Gizzy and the family. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yes, Geezy and his frenemies. We've started our second season. Please be tuning in. We air it on Tuesday evenings. Check it out. Check for our watch parties and stuff because we are off the chain. Like
Off the chain.
We're really
Yes,
off the chain.
off the
Off
chain.
the
Off the
hook.
chain.
off the chain. Like you
It's
need
really
to come
cute.
in. It's
Yeah,
like a
it's a cute
fun,
show.
like dramedy. You know, if you just want to like lighten
Eat
the
it up.
load, you
Yeah.
want to share a good laugh. You know,
Yeah.
if you just want to take
I agree.
a brief moment away from reality and just go to another place, check out Geezy and his frenemies. We have a blast. It's so much fun. So.
New trailer is already running.
Oh yeah, so check out social media shows page. The new trailer for second season is already showing. So yeah, like stay tuned. We'll be showing it later on today. But anyways, cool B. So
Nice.
Tabatha gave us a little blurb on what's going on with her. So how about you? What's been going on? Anything cool or exciting?
Well, actually, I had a blessed week.
Awesome. Amen to that.
Yeah, that's one thing. Had a blessed week, and I just thank God that I arrive each day and
Amen.
just keep on doing what I got to do.
That's right. Each day.
But
each
I've been working out. I've been walking.
I've been
Oh,
working out
nice.
recently
Yeah.
too.
I
I've been working
always
recently,
work out.
too. Do you like to walk out do you like to walk in the neighborhood, or do you go like to a gym and hop on a treadmill?
Yeah. What do you do?
Well, actually, I can't do the treadmill or anything.
You
but
can't?
I can't.
Or you can?
I cannot.
Oh, okay.
But what I do, I walk from my home and all the way down because where Boulder Station area is at.
Okay.
All the way down to Vegas Valley.
Oh, okay.
So that's about what mountain?
I have a boyfriend
mile.
in that area.
Oh, okay.
He's
All
in
the way
jail
to
right now,
Sahara.
but he'll
yeah,
get out.
so that's a 1 mile.
He's
Yeah, one
Tabatha.
1 mile walk.
Dumpster guy.
Dumpster guy's locked up right now?
Dumpster guy is locked up right now.
He caught a case?
Oh,
He did catch a case.
caught a case.
He caught
Mercy.
a case. So it's been a long, almost month.
wow.
I'm dying,
Oh,
to say the
wow.
least.
Oh my
Dying.
gosh. How
Oh
much
my God.
longer before he's free again?
He'll get out on the 6th.
The 6th.
Listen
You got to
to
mark
this.
on
I
the
sent him
calendar.
some, right? For, I'm
You
going
got
to
that
start a
jump
countdown
mark.
for
She's
like how
I'm-
many days are
I
left.
know. You're like, 7 more days. 7 more
Right?
days.
I sent him 2 Valentine's Day cards and a big, huge letter. And now, like, I have
Oh.
so much to say.
Oh my
I'm like, oh my God, I have to
Oh
sit
my
down and
God.
do this tomorrow so he can get another letter before he gets out. Because, like,
Tabatha, you're like one of those chicks. You're like one of those chicks that are like still into the guys, like into guys that are in jail. Or was
Well, I
it
didn't
because you liked him
anticipate this.
before then?
oh yeah, I didn't anticipate this.
But would you date a guy in jail? Like I hear
Oh,
there's
I
some
know,
women,
he's not dateable.
I hear there's some
He's
women
not
that they
dateable.
like
No.
guys in prison.
Yeah,
No.
they
They
do.
date them.
Yeah,
they
do.
marry them.
No, it's not.
They have babies with them.
No, well,
Yeah, plenty
babies
of
happen.
babies.
Babies happen. But
I mean, but
No.
behind bars, I still don't understand all that stuff.
no,
but
no.
anyway.
I
Yeah,
didn't
that's
anticipate
kind
this.
of-
Who would want to
and-
have?
No, that's just weird. No, he's.
Who would wanna do
even
that
had
if-
he didn't have this, he
Oh,
wouldn't be dateable.
yeah, that
he's
is
just one of my boys.
interesting.
Oh,
My second favorite. but
okay.
I don't know. He's just handy.
He's
He's just handy. He's just handy.
He's just
So anyway,
handy. Okay.
on the 6th of March,
He's
I
getting
will
out.
be.
You're gonna be
hopefully-
waiting there with like balloons
Right. Oh
and
my
a sign.
God.
Welcome back to the free world.
So you gonna say
Right,
welcome back?
dumpster guy. Welcome back, dumpster guy. Oh my God, that would be so hilarious.
Come on home with me.
Right,
I'll give you a
I'll give you a
ride.
ride. My place or yours.
Oh, she said you give him a ride, all right, huh?
Well, it was him and the other guy where I had my first threesome in January.
Right, you told us about that.
He
like,
was there for protection,
couple weeks
made
ago
sure
or
the situation
something.
went okay. Now I know how to do it. So now I'm good on my own. But
Delores.
I know Delores is like, The show before this, we spoke about God.
I got my Patron. I got my Patron right here.
You're so silly. She's like, in this water bottle is Patron.
No, that's her holy water. That's the holy water.
Yep.
That's your holy. Did you bless my water?
That's the holy water.
Oh yeah, I bless the water.
Okay.
So
I will make sure and drink these then.
So when you take a sip, you may change an attitude.
Right. We can only hope. We can only
Take a
hope.
sip. Oh
We
my
can only
gosh,
hope.
you guys are too much fun. Too much fun. But okay, cool. So Delores, you had a good.
Yeah,
it's
I
been,
had a good week.
You're off. You had
Yeah,
a
a blessed
good week
week.
last week. Okay,
Yeah, it was very
amen
nice.
for that. Amen for that. Let's see. What about me? Let's see. Did some shopping. That's always fun.
You are the one. Cameron.
Shopping, always fun. And outlet malls, that's where it's really at. I mean, I go to regular malls too, but I mean, because Macy's, I wish they were at the outlet malls, but they're not.
No, but they don't even have like
But-
Nordstrom Rack does. So they or
Yeah,
do
there's
they?
no like Macy's.
There's
rack.
no like.
Yeah, there's
Macy's,
no like
Okay.
Nordstrom rack. Like maybe they should think about doing that.
You would think.
I mean, I've heard that sadly though, they're getting ready to close some of their stores. In the underperforming malls, like there's stores that are in the underperforming malls. Like I guess they rate malls like in an A, B, C, D.
I can imagine they do.
Oh.
I
Okay.
heard that they'll be like closing like the ones in there that are rated C and D. So they're not closing
C
all
and
of
D?
them.
Are they closing a lot of
C and
things?
D.
You can get a D.
I guess in mall
That's
world.
in mall
I
world.
suppose.
Oh,
All
wow.
right, I hear you.
But
I didn't know that.
But
That's
I was
interesting.
like,
I mean,
at first
I'm all
I was
for
like,
the
oh my
D, but getting a D, that's
Wow.
like failing.
yeah.
Yeah, it
So-
does. It does sound like it's
But so I guess they're going to close those stores that are in the underperforming malls,
Okay.
and then focus more on the ones that are in the A's and B's,
Okay.
A's and B's, and
okay.
I mean I think online they have a wonderful website. Like I love Macy's website.
Oh, I actually really.
I
like
mean
it.
it's
have
very
beautiful
user
clothes.
friendly.
For real.
They have some beautiful
Yeah,
clothes.
yes, it's very user friendly. I mean, like I am not very tech savvy, and I like
Me either. And
I
I,
just
pretend
like it.
not to be, especially when I don't want to do something. When I don't feel good. Like, I literally pretend I don't know how to do something so my daughter will do it. Or
Mom, but you
whatever
know
I
how to do this last week.
Oh my God, you know what she said to me the other day? We were in Walmart. I hate Walmart, but I needed something inexpensive. And so I was going there. And my daughter says, you know what's interesting about you, Mom? And I'm like, oh, there's so many things that you could mention right now. What's interesting about me? And she says, when I refuse to do something for you, which isn't very often,
Okay.
she says, you somehow figure out how to do it yourself. And I'm like, you noticed? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, okay. So now kind of like the jig seems like it's kind of getting up. Like
Right.
she's kind of like, so if I stall, because I like things done then. Like if I have the idea, I'm like, we're doing it now.
Okay.
And so if it doesn't get done now, I'm like, fuck, I have to like Google this. I Googled how to Google Gmail one day. Like I Googled trying to find Gmail one day. My daughter saw this meme a couple days ago about dumbasses that Google. And I giggled and she's like, no, Mom, you've done that before. And I'm like, I did?
Wow.
She's like, on more than one occasion. I'm like, oh.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, she said, do you remember when you Googled Gmail? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, that's Google's mail. And I'm like,
That's
is
Google's
that what
email,
the
yeah.
G thing
Gmail.
is for? She's like, yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna choke
That's
from
funny.
almost
That's
laughing at my
funny.
own shit. So
Girl,
anyway,
you are so funny.
I kid you not. I
Any
Googled
cleaners
fucking
around
Gmail.
here,
What
my eyes
Gmail?
are tearing.
I know, right?
I'm
I know.
a mess.
But-
I'm a mess. People, well, my
We're gonna pray
main
for
guy
you, girl. We're
said
gonna
that
pray for
I need a
you.
keeper.
Yeah.
There's literally, I need a keeper. I need a keeper.
But
Let's take
you're the life
applications
of
for
the
a
party.
keeper.
What? I said, but you're the life of the party, so
I am
don't
the
be
party,
kept too
right?
much, you know.
Well, they said
don't
you
be-
Right, don't let
Don't be held
your
back
keeper
too
do
much.
too
Don't
good
be
of a
kept
job.
down too much. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So
They said
totally hear you.
Gemini's are the life of the party.
That I
I'm sorry
fit
for
the
the party
bill.
of that. I'll be
Right.
all over the place dancing.
Oh my gosh, you're a dancer. I'm not a dancer
Yes,
yet.
I
but
dance.
You're so cute.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to watch the train on, sometime around the 5th of June, let me know. You can dance to the DJ, and I'll just manage the business. The business end of the deal. I will manage
Oh my
the business
gosh.
end of the
Oh
deal.
my gosh.
Just
We
lost.
go-
Just
Yeah.
lost. They did not throw in a pole.
I don't know how we do that. The ceilings are kind of high. I don't know. I could check into it.
You would be the one.
I would definitely be the one.
You would be the one to be
I would
like,
definitely
my
be the
birthday's
one.
coming up. I need a stripper
Tell you
pole,
need a stripper pole.
right here, right,
Right here, for real.
and then get
For
to
real.
spinning. But but anyways, let's see. So yeah, did some shopping. So that's always fun.
I love that about you. For real.
Thank you. And I celebrated reaching 400 followers on my
No
Instagram.
way.
That's killer.
400
That's
followers.
like so adorable.
Yay, thank
You go, girl.
Thank you.
That's so
Thank
adorable.
you. So that was awesome. I did a little video. I think it's important. I mean, like, a lot of people, they don't really thank the followers, as they hit milestones, milestones here
Right.
and there. But for me, like, I appreciate everyone's love and support. And, you're so active on my page. Thank you so much.
Oh, yes. I always thought. I said,
Yeah.
girl, I like that. Oh, that's cute.
Thank
Right?
you. Yes.
She's like, you're so hot.
And-
She looks so cute.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
always.
appreciate that. And like JC and Maria, social media shows, like, thank you for your love and support. But I like to take a moment and say thank you because, it's the little
That goes a
things
long
that
way,
mean,
for sure.
that mean so much.
Yep.
And, for now, like, while I'm trying to build my first 1,000, my goal is every 100 to say thank you.
Well, we
And-
appreciate
I like
all
that.
your styles.
Oh.
It is beautiful. And that's why, as I be thinking, I just say, I just let mine all hang out. It'll hang back on.
No doubt. No doubt.
Right.
Yeah, when you get that menopause, that pre-menopause, everything spreads.
Oh, does it? Aw.
Yeah.
Girl, when it's my turn, I'll be like, girl, give me the skinny on menopause. Yeah, I hear it does some different things. to
Hey, if
women.
you don't got booty, you get booty.
Yo,
Really?
Yeah, I'm starting to get a balloon butt.
That's so hot, though. People really like that. My daughter
pay for that.
wants. Yeah, that's
people
what I'm
pay
saying.
for butt injections.
My daughter
What's up with
wants
that?
a bigger butt, so she does exercises. Like literally
Yeah, I think you
builds that
mentioned
muscle.
that. Like,
Yeah, a lot
last
of
month
walking
when we were
that
talking
does
about.
that too. I do a lot
Right.
of walking.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know
hear
that
you.
boosts up that muscles. Because I
Yep.
had all that muscles in my leg.
That's
That's where half of my pounds went to.
Right.
Muscle.
But I'm trying to work out more too, so it's like
Wait, how's it going?
it's going well. I'm still working out with my trainer at the
Okay.
gym,
Nice.
and like, thank you. And last weekend I traveled, and
Okay.
for the very first time,
Right.
I worked out in the hotel gym. The little
Oh,
gym at the
wow,
hotel.
yeah, that's cute.
I worked out while I traveled. I've never
You're
done
like,
that before.
yeah, I'm that girl now.
That is cool.
I was like, wait, I'm gonna be there for 3 mornings. Yeah,
That's
let
3
me.
workouts.
So, Monday morning was travel morning, but
Okay.
I Saturday and Sunday I was in there, and I
I'm
was
so
like,
proud of you. That's awesome.
thank you. I
Very
was like,
cool.
oh my gosh, look at me, and so I'm trying to step it up so that like I work out with my trainer twice a week,
Uh-huh.
and so I want to do like more like I want to do workouts in between those visits too.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, this is new to me. I'm still a baby in this fitness world and trying to, get it together. But
Yeah, it
I
takes
feel
time,
comfortable
yeah.
now, like getting onto the treadmill and pushing the little buttons to start it.
Oh, right.
And
'cause
like
you've done
the
it a couple
elliptical
times.
thing.
Oh, I haven't
know
done
how
one
to
of
do
those
it.
in, I swear to you, 20 years.
Really? I
Yeah.
like it. But I like to do this part too. Like some people just hold on to the thing and they're just,
Yeah.
Oh,
they just
yeah, yeah.
step.
That's a
But I like
right.
doing this to try to like work out my arms a little bit.
Yeah, that's
clever.
pretty neat.
My trainer, she's
Right.
I do a
helping me
lot
with
of
like
floor. Well, actually, usually when I'm walking right now, but I usually do a lot of floor workout at the gym that I have in my apartments.
Uh-huh.
They don't have that much of equipment, but a treadmill and that I do all floor workouts.
Oh, okay,
Okay.
cool.
And then I take in my mats and stuff and my weights and stuff. That's my gym.
Oh, Oh, okay, awesome. I have a mat. I think I brought it when we did.
It might
the
still
extra-
be here. Did you bring it
You know,
home?
I just
Okay.
brought it home last
I
week.
was
I
like, I
forgot
swear
it.
it's not-
Like I
For
forgot
like 3
it.
or 4 weeks, right?
know.
She's like, so the
Oh my
ground is
gosh.
hard.
Yes,
I
so I
had two
just.
types of mat. I have one for the indoor one for outdoors, because I did for Earth week one time. Earth Day with Earth Month. Yeah, but I was out there, neighbors were looking at me.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
cool.
stretching.
Yeah. Watch me
You know,
stretch.
gotta do your thing. You know,
Yeah.
judgy thing. Even if people are like looking at you a little strange. Be
I
like,
love
you know
it when
what?
people
I
watch.
thought it was funny.
Oh,
It is.
Just the reaction of they feel like, what the heck is she doing?
Right? Why are we exercising on the front lawn?
Especially
That's
the
cool,
kids. It's cute with the kids. Mommy, look at what she's doing. Oh yeah, she's doing her exercise. Mama, how you do that? How you do that, Mama? I was say that. I'm so cute.
You're so silly.
It was
you know.
so cute.
Hey, teachable moment.
Yeah, that's
You
so
know, it's
cute.
I love
still, you know, early on in the year. So
Right?
I mean, I think a lot of people who hopefully made that resolution they're probably still.
Well, we're all still in good shape.
We're doing good. We're
Yeah.
still working out. Yay! High five. We're
Yeah,
still
you're looking good.
We're still
yeah.
working out.
All right, girl.
So, you know, yay. We discussed
Right.
fitness,
I think-
diet, and exercise earlier this year, like
Yeah,
in
we know
January.
how
That was just
important
So
a
haven't
month.
we done more than what most people do by this time?
I think
Because
so.
we're like darn near in March.
True.
Right?
You
But
can
yeah,
still
so
kick,
like-
you can still kick butt for the summer.
Okay, look, here's a story of
There's summer
inspiration
coming
on
up.
that real quick.
Okay, go ahead.
So at my gym, like when, you know, I just started working out in January.
Right.
So like I'm working out with my trainer and like this old man, he starts walking by slowly with his walker, right? He's walking by, you know, and he says hi to my trainer. She says hi, and I guess, you know, they know each other or something. There's some kind of rapport there. And then I was like, I said, wow, look at that old man. You know, he's still working out in the gym and he's going like, you know.
Right.
And she's like, she told me that man is 104 years old.
104?
104
Wow.
That's awesome.
years old.
Wow.
How old did he look to you? Like, if you were just guessing, what would your thought
I would
have
not
been?
have guessed over 100.
Well,
I mean,
clearly,
like-
but
Wow.
60s or 70s?
Like maybe 70s or 80s, but not over 100.
Wow.
Like
Well, my
Wow.
cousin.
he can still walk. He
That's-
just uses a little walker, you
Right.
know, and he doesn't need any other help. And I was just like, oh my gosh, if a 104-year-old person
Right.
can get their self in the gym
Then my
every
fat
day,
ass can.
what is any of our
Yeah.
excuses? The
I-
man is over
yeah,
100
really have
years
one.
old, and
And
he's
I had a cousin that was on the farm that she passed away years ago at 113
sorry to
years
hear
old.
that.
113?
For Kansas City, and then she said,
113.
"Yep," and she said, I think her last words was, she got tired of making pies.
She got tired of making pies.
Yeah,
said it was
but
time to
the
rest.
farm. So you
Time to
manage
rest from the
farm-raised
pies permanently.
Food that's longer life,
Right?
longer
right.
life. That
What?
farm.
That's cool.
Wow. So she grew up, she was like a farm girl.
Yeah, farm girl.
Okay.
Yeah, she was in the newspapers like years ago. Her name's Gracie.
113.
And this was your auntie?
It was my cousin.
Oh, your
It
cousin.
would
I
have been my
apologize.
cousin from
Okay.
my grandfather's
I
side.
wonder how.
Because my
old
grandfather,
the
he
oldest-
passed away at 90-something.
Wow, so you guys have longevity in your family.
Yeah,
do
my
we.
my grandmother passed away at 70-something. She was the
Right.
youngest.
I mean, that's kind of young.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, she's very young. But my grandfather almost was close to 100.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah, I think it would be
Yeah.
cool.
My
like,
grandmas
if you
were
could,
early 90s.
really, like if you could, that's cool. Would
I
you guys
wanna
like
hit
want to
100.
live to 100 if
Yeah.
you could? If you can do it?
Yeah, for
I
sure.
think it would be cool.
No
Because
chemicals.
I got a lot of shit to do.
Avoid chemicals.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
You'd
And
be
then-
100. You'd be the 100-year-old that's still getting her groove on.
I know, really.
Me too.
Baby, come on over here
I'll
and
be still
and help.
dancing.
Tabitha
I'll
out.
still be shopping.
I
Yeah,
I'll be like
I-
Macy's
that's
oldest
ex-
shopper.
Exactly.
I'd be still on my Instagram. I have 100,000 followers.
I know.
I may have a bigger
2020,
booty.
I started.
I may have a bigger, larger booty then too.
Right? For real.
Like you'd be like, I can't walk anymore. I can't walk. I can't do it anymore.
But I have a
It's
flat
too
tummy.
big.
Don't
It's-
make me.
Flat tummy, that big old booty.
You have to scoot around. Gotta
Yeah, I
scoot
be
around on that
scooting
thing. I know, right?
I was like, hey, listen, I just get my groove on. I go out there. I did my dance. Yeah.
like, oh my goodness.
Delores.
So yes, so this guy, like, yeah, 104, still working out. So just
That
keep
is
him in mind,
awesome.
everyone. Let's keep him in mind. We all have a million excuses as to why we can't find the time to work out or don't want to. But, you know, health is important. And, you know, just think of the 104-year-old man that goes about every morning. I see him almost every time I'm there. And sometimes he beats me there and he's out when I'm coming in. And I'm just like, I see him, I'm just like,
I wonder if he outbeat
right?
you running. And
Right?
I'm
Sure.
I don't know.
You never know.
I don't know.
Because
You know what?
she was getting around in her little, what you call
What the?
that walker. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
She got around. She passed me up. I'm like, damn, she passed me up in the walker.
Right.
Yeah,
Like-
I couldn't believe
Be
it.
like, well, but, you know.
But hey, but that's good.
Yeah, that's good.
She's strong.
I think he might be single. I mean, or at least he doesn't have a wedding band now. So he might
Yeah,
be like
he might be
140
a widow.
Single guy. So,
Oh yeah, he could be a widow
I would
too.
presume that
He
he's
could
probably
be.
a widow.
but you know, a
A
widower,
widower.
right?
Yeah,
a
sorry.
widower.
Yeah,
Yeah.
widower.
You know
Yeah,
what
we
might be
gotta get it
cool
right.
to say about like inviting him to the show one day. That would be fun.
You have
that
to.
that would be
Yeah.
fun to see.
So
if he
get
would
to know
come
him a little bit, like start
and
saying
spill
hi
the
to him
beans
and
on what it's
grinning.
like to be that old.
Yeah.
and stuff. And he's probably. I mean, think about 100. Oh, he's over 100 years old.
That is so cool.
That's
Like
a blessing.
he was born in like the earlier 1900s. Like
Right.
we're in the 20s,
Yep.
so
And
that
I was
puts
born
him
in
like
the 70s, 73. I was born.
My grandmothers were born in
Ooh.
the 20s, early 20s, and they were in their 90s when they died. So he's, I don't know.
he's like what like. He's like a Great Depression baby, or like right
He's
before
something.
it, or something. So, yeah, maybe we might need to see about maybe
That'd be
bringing him.
cute. You need to start talking to him. Say hi. How are you? Da 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 da.
Well,
He
you know,
probably
what
does
the
not know what
interest
YouTube is.
actually, I
Already have.
I thought it was so cool. Like I
you
wanted
take a
to
selfie
snap
with him?
Just
That
the
is
other
the
day, like
best.
for real. I was
I
like,
so am into
how
that.
often do you get to meet someone that's over 100 years old? Like
Right.
I have never personally met someone who's over 104 years old. So
Yeah,
I
you
just
really meet people like that. It's like it's a miracle
Over
to me.
100, so
It's a miracle to
where
me
is
when you
he?
meet people like that because it's just it
you're
blows
just
my
like,
mind.
I know you're just like in awe. It's like
It's
you're a
like,
celebrity.
Wait a minute.
Oh, and when he
I said,
turned.
did you say? Can you please repeat back what you said? I can't believe what you're hearing.
And he what?
But that's amazing.
When he turned 104, they had the news crews were there at the gym. He
can
was
imagine.
all over the news and everything. It was like,
That is cute.
yeah, I was just
Yeah,
like, oh my
that
gosh.
is-
Oh yeah,
that's
my trainer took
beautiful.
him. I asked her to. Okay, look, there he is.
Oh.
That's him. He's 104 years old.
wow. Yep.
That's
I see
him.
what you mean.
Look, that's him.
Wow.
I see what you mean. He does look like he's like in his
Nice look
80s.
at him.
I mean, like
He doesn't even
Wow.
necessarily look
He
like he's
doesn't
in
even
his
have
90s.
not that much wrinkle on him for 104.
Yeah, and then there we are. That's my trainer right there. So,
Nice.
but he
Oh,
was
wow.
cool. He was cool. He's personable.
He's serious, right?
and stuff. But yeah, I was like,
That's cool. I like it.
You don't get.
That is
I dig it.
I was like, I
awesome.
want to take a picture with him. I mean, he's inspiration.
Yeah.
I'm not that old, but he's inspiration because I want to be in good shape when I get that age.
Right.
And
Oh yeah, same here.
I mean,
Same
like
here.
I'm at the
That's why I'm
gym.
pushing.
I'm at the gym and I see like older people who are not in like decent shape, and I'm sure it's harder to try to get in shape once you're like older.
Right.
Yes,
it's
the
kinda
more
like-
yeah, more up in age.
Yeah,
Yes,
so I think it's try to get it together now so that it makes it smoother.
yes,
like,
yes.
later, so that when I'm in the gym, I'll be like, well, look, I've been handling my business for some years now, so I got this, and not like, you're working with the trainer, you just barely lifting your leg up. Like I hope.
Hey,
I
let's
hope.
don't knock the barely lifting your leg.
I'm not
up.
knocking them. I'm just saying I hope to prevent that. But anyway,
But especially in my condition
I gotcha.
of
you see what I'm saying? Like,
family history and that of that arthritis that I was inherited with, I got to keep it up for a lifetime, else I will be stiff as a board.
My family has a
So I
history
have
of
to-
shooting.
You have to
people.
keep
But I have a
moving.
good diet too. I do vegetarian. You do vegan.
Oh yeah, I know. I like your girl. You posted some cute little pictures on your.
Nice.
She posts some cute pictures of her meals on her pages and stuff. Her vegetarian meals.
On Facebook
I'm a food
or on?
Oh, on her
I'm a both of
Instagram.
them.
Oh, for the
I'm
love
a
of
food-
God, I have to figure
I'm
out
a
this
food
Instagram
woman.
thing.
I know.
I'm missing so much of life.
You created one, but you're not doing. Your granddaughter knows what's up. Ask her
I
to show
know.
you some things.
She said she would. She literally like said she
I
would.
can make an awesome vegetarian burger. Put a what's it called? Eggplant.
Oh, really?
It's good. You try the eggplant?
I don't care for eggplant.
And then you can put, but you gotta really toast it away because you got eggplant. You cannot eat it raw because it goes through your system and can do something to your body.
Oh, for real? Oh,
Yeah, yeah. I'm
thanks for
serious.
that. I'm not a big fan.
You have to cook it really good.
Oh, yeah, but you post
Yeah.
some cute stuff. And speaking of Instagram, let me plug my page, and if Delores wants to plug hers, when you get active on yours, let us know.
Right, when I get serious.
But my Instagram is Thatsstyle ByTai. Okay, Thatsstyle ByTai. That TAI, that's how you spell my name. That's my Instagram. Fashion. I put different fashion looks out there.
She got the gorgeous page.
Oh, thank you so much. And so hit me up on my Instagram. And Delores, are you okay to share yours or no?
Oh yeah. Because mine is open to the public. You know.
What's yours?
I'm
In case they
popular.
want to check you out. What's yours in case
It's
they want to?
Delores R. Olsen official.
Okay.
It has to be official. If
Oh,
it's not official,
she's like, if
then
it's not
I'm being
official,
scammed.
it's
It
not
has to
me.
be official.
Okay.
It says official at the end.
Yes, yours does say official.
Yeah, and it has the curly hair with the glasses.
I wonder how many
Curly hair
followers
with
you
the
have to get before
glasses.
you can get the blue check by, like the celebrities, like they have a blue check when it's like
Oh, I'll have that in
the
no
real like
This is
celebrity
the real
person.
deal.
Like, I wonder how many followers.
I had to
you
put
have get for that.
official.
I know.
Good long story.
Oh, okay. Well, cool beans. Yes, check out Dolores' page. It's cool. She puts on like really awesome Bible passages and inspirational quotes. Her yummy foods her healthy food options and her fashion and stuff. So yeah, so check us out. And on that note, we're gonna get ready to take a quick commercial break. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, for choosing to spend some of your time with us today. We really, really appreciate it. Please don't go anywhere. Please spread the word, share it on your page. You can host a watch party, and let's all be a part of the conversation because we're getting ready to dive into something really deep in just a bit. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back. Stay tuned.
All right.
Fairy tale ways
Social media shows network were initiated in 2017. Since then, our founder Maria Pureza never stopped developing a system on social media in building a network of passionate people that loves to entertain, coach, help others, and deliver informative information to the public, informally, in a low-cost production. She built a platform that surpassed Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and other social media live streaming, but exceeded the function of a podcast. Her main goal is to be able to broadcast social media like a traditional TV setup involving a group of broadcasters, YouTubers, podcasters, and social media live streamers. Maria is building the confidence of non-actors and non-famous people that joins her to network. We are here to promote and support one another, to help our community grow collectively without inhibitions but with confidence and high self-esteem. We love to be in this family together. Our door is open to help you build your brand, opening opportunities for others, and outreach to our community. We welcome you to the family of social media shows.
Thank you to our affiliates who trusted and hold us by the hand. We truly appreciate your support and we are looking forward to a longer relationships. GI Connections, VIP Vacations, James Presley Recording Studio, Power X Energy Drinks, Moke Experience, 22.3 Takeover Vegas Radio, Revolution Radio 2, Rhythm Vision, Westgate Resorts Las Vegas, The Giving Water, Whalers Creation, The Funk Jam, The Iron Monk Tattoo Society, GG Chic, Las Vegas Entertainment, Fantasy at Luxor, Action Shot Productions. Ask us to learn more how to be part of our affiliate today.
A fairy tale, they say, real in every way.
Welcome back, everyone, to our second segment of Honeybees. Thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. My name is Tai. This is the lovely.
I'm Delores.
And
I'm JC or CJ, depending on what mood you're on.
Yes. And this is the lovely
Tabatha.
Yes, and JC is going to be hanging out with us. Thank you so much for guesting with us today.
I know when I heard that you ladies will be talking about the Pound Me Too movement. Oh, I'm sorry, the hashtag Me Too
No,
movement.
the Pound Me Too movement
That might be her.
Right, that's mine. The other movement belongs to a couple more of us.
Yes.
There's got to be a movement, always.
Yeah.
So when you heard of our topic today, you were just like, you just had to go ahead and come on in and help hang out with us.
Yes.
Well, awesome. Thank you. And we had such a good time last week as well together.
I know.
That was a wonderful episode. Thank you for guesting with us last week as well.
Avec plaisir, mademoiselle.
Oh, that was beautiful. That was French?
And I noticed
that
that
French?
you have I love the sexy and sultry voice of Tabatha.
It gets so much better after dark.
I love her name because it reminds me of my favorite show back in the day, the Bewitched.
Bewitched. That is exactly where my dad
that's right, Bewitched.
found the name. Oh my gosh, you're so young.
She's
You
young.
don't know
She's
what
young.
Bewitched is.
She's
I'm trying to think. Wait, is that
I remember that.
Wait, is that the one with like? Was she like?
She could.
Did she have
wiggle
long
her
hair?
nose. Yes.
She could
blonde.
twitch her nose.
She
She's
could
like,
wiggle
I
her
just
nose.
love
Okay,
her.
I think I vaguely remember something.
So her
And
mom
she
was a
just turn
witch and her
anything
dad
into
was a mortal.
anything.
Oh, she was half?
Yeah, she was
I loved her.
Tabatha was
bi-witchy.
half
Yeah.
and half.
So
And the mother
half
was
mortal,
this.
half witch. Yeah.
And the father had to deal with the witch, the mother-in-law, who
Yes.
was a real
Yes.
witch.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's literally where my dad found my name.
They liked the show? He
introduced
liked the show?
He liked the name. I don't have any. I would assume he liked the show, but
Okay.
yeah, he liked the name. That's where it came from.
Oh, cool.
And not
That
to
was
go
her
off,
name, right? That was
Tabatha,
her
the little girl. Yep,
And it's
absolutely.
beautiful.
not to go off on a tangent, but on the topic of Bewitched, there was an episode wherein Samantha was her name.
The mom, Samantha.
Samantha. Yeah, Samantha went to another century.
Okay.
Another century.
Another
okay.
century, and then the husband also went to that century, but he was going to be like a total stranger
Oh,
to
really?
her wife.
Oh wow, interesting.
And then the husband was complaining to the mother-in-law, and then he was like, "Are you telling me that I'm going to be a perfect stranger to my own wife?"
Right.
And then the mother-in-law, being the witch that she is, yeah, she was like, "A stranger, yes, but hardly perfect."
Oh, that's so cute. That's so.
That is cute.
That's exactly what she would
That
say.
is.
Yeah.
No, that's
Nice.
cute.
Well said. Well said. Awesome. You know, and like Tabatha, is Tabatha a common name? Because I'm trying to think if
No,
I've ever
I
went
love
to
it.
school with
I
a
love
Tabatha.
it. Yeah.
I don't like
I don't
the
think I've-
things that I do or that are associated with me to be common. So I
Yeah.
love that my name is less common for sure.
Yeah.
Okay,
because
awesome.
it's very unique.
Yeah,
it's
it is.
unique.
I don't think I've went. Have you guys ever known another Tabatha?
No, not too many.
No.
I don't think I have either. Okay, cool.
I know.
I
I,
have
like
a-
it that way.
I have a
Like my
unique name
daughter,
too. So.
like my
Oh
daughter's
no, I
name
love
is
your name.
Tatiana.
I have a.
Tatiana
But
is a
her,
beautiful name.
but her
Thank you.
name in English, in which they didn't use it, because the Russian lady was telling me they didn't use Telena. Too sophisticated for a young lady.
Oh,
It was
really?
considered for an older lady.
Oh,
okay.
right.
Yeah.
I get you.
Because they said it, English, it means Telena.
Okay.
And which that's a beautiful name. And you don't hear too many names like that, Telena.
Oh my God.
Yeah, T.
I love interesting
Yeah.
names. I love that your name is Ty.
Thank
I have a son
Yeah,
named
that is,
Ty.
that's
Yeah.
great.
I love that my
Awesome.
daughter's name is Kyle.
Yeah.
I have a son named Bailey. Like I love.
Oh, that's a
like,
beautiful name.
Oh, that
mixing it
is
up.
Yeah, like
So,
like
having
not
it be a
going with
little
like
unexpected.
everyone else.
Yeah.
Like going with that main flow.
Yeah.
I think unique is cool. Unique
Now
is
I'd
cool.
like a drink.
I know, right? That's
Totally
exactly.
spring.
My daughter is naming her baby a unique name, but I just can't remember it, so I'm gonna have to. keep
You're
on
so cute.
repeating
She's like,
it.
I don't know what it's going to
That's
be.
my
I
third
forgot.
grandchild.
Right.
It's gonna be born in
I mean,
April.
once you get to
Aw.
3, how can you
It's like
possibly
really out
keep
there.
remembering their names?
Aw.
Yeah.
You don't even look like a grandma. She's
I know.
like,
I'm a, oh,
mommy.
wait a minute, hold on.
I'm a grandma.
grandma.
And you don't look
Grandma.
like
I'm
what
a
grandma.
Grandma.
What do
And
they
a
call
grandma.
you? Is that what they
Yeah.
call you, Grandma?
They call me Grandma D.
So they have a
Grandma
little
Grandma D.
plaque at
Yeah.
home.
I don't know what I would
Woods,
want to be called.
at Hobby Lobby, and
Oh.
I'm Grandma Lola. If I'm not being called Mom,
Oh,
because
that's
literally my
cute,
grandma
Lola.
calls me, or my granddaughter calls me Mom. But
Oh,
not that her mom's not Mom, but I'm a mom too.
okay.
And she just has always done that. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, when so there was like a Grandma Bissen, which is my last name, which
Mm-hmm.
was my dad's mom, and then a Graham, which was my mom's mom, and then my mom is Grandma, and then I'm like, well, who do I be? Like all the names are
Who
taken.
do I be?
And so I was like, asking
Identity
friends,
crisis.
who would you be? And so we came up with Grandma Lola. So like I'll sign cards. I don't sign them Mom. I sign them Grandma Lola when I give her cards.
Lola.
You know
Okay, that's cute.
what Lola means in Filipino? It means grandma in Filipino.
It does.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, then
That's
there you go.
interesting.
So I'm double. I'm all grandma,
Well, then
grandma.
Yeah,
grandma, yeah.
I had no idea.
Gigi,
But
Gigi.
it's funny because here in the the U.S. it's more like her name was Lola.
Exactly.
She was
Was
a
a
showgirl.
I mean,
so
so
all the
it's
time was a
very-
showgirl here in the U.S.
Oh,
So either way, I'm covered.
Yes.
Is what we're saying.
Yeah.
You're a
gotcha.
granny's slash showgirl.
Right.
Yes.
Oh
Okay.
my gosh.
So you're Grandma Lola, and you said you go by
Grandma D, but I like to be, I say Grandma.
Grandma
Oh,
D,
yes, the
aka
glamour.
Grandma.
Right.
Grandma.
Yeah.
I am not one, but I don't think I'd want to be called Grandma because like Grandma just seems kind of old or like grandmother. So
Right.
they have lists
Yeah,
online.
A list of
Oh,
names.
they have
Yeah.
lists like cool grandma and grandpa names and stuff. So
Cool
like
grandma and grandpa names.
I
She's
would
like,
probably
look,
be
I'm the
like-
You could be
Delores.
another Grandma. There you go. And
You
you
know-
got glam too.
like when I'm a grandma, I want to be like I'm the sexiest one you'll see. You know, like
Well,
I'll
that's
be
what
like
happens to my
represent.
granddaughter.
Well, look at you. You got your
Clearly,
little cat
right?
suit. Cat suit top.
know.
Yeah.
Right.
I used to have cat food.
Oh my
I'm a
gosh.
cat food.
I'll be like,
Yeah.
wait, what's it?
So go peekaboo.
Oh,
I'm trying to think of a term I can't think of right now.
she's
But
got a peekaboo
I'm gonna be
over
like,
here.
That's cute.
I'd be like,
She's got a
you
peekaboo.
look too
Actually-
young to be a grandma.
I
I'm gonna be
used to have
like,
a
yes,
cat
I
suit.
do. I do look too young to be a grandma.
Red like
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be me. I want to be like that cool, sexy grandma. But some older people like. In their effort to still look young, they go
They
like,
look like a
way
hooker.
out
Oh,
there.
gosh.
Have you guys
Well,
ever seen
they-
those older people?
Right.
Oh,
Yeah.
Where they kind of go like too far. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a way to still look like classy, sexy.
Oh, yeah.
As
I
an
know.
older
I've seen
person,
it.
and still rock it and work it without
Yeah.
looking like, like a 20-year-old.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Right,
I see
right,
one that was
yeah,
60 years
yeah.
old. I mean, I'm not trying to. Please forgive me, but this is this fashion. We should have a fashion police or something.
fashion police.
Because
Oh my
for her
goodness.
age, and that it didn't compliment her. It made her look
was-
sheep. It made her
Oh
look
my
sheep.
gosh.
Because she had on, it was a beautiful outfit, but if I threw it on, I mean, because I'm more younger, that's why they really look decent.
Right.
But
She's like, I'm younger. It would have looked decent.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Because it was a little bit too much
Revealing?
on her for her age, and you could
Okay.
tell that she aged, and
Aw.
it just don't look right.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh
like,
my
But she could dress
gosh.
sexier if just tone it down. She just needs to tone it down.
yeah. You
It's
know,
too
whatever
young.
you
It's something
listen
that a 40-year-old, 30 to 40, 20 to 40.
Don't you just love this?
I know, right?
But it was a gorgeous outfit. I love the outfit. I mean, it was a killer. I said,
Right,
oh, I wonder what she got.
wrong
that.
person, just wrong person.
Yeah, but it just didn't work on her.
Right.
It didn't compliment her
Let's-
beautiful
let-
figure.
You know, we can be classy. You know, we can
Yeah.
have taste
That's
in our
right.
style.
But do we
right?
have to be
There
classy?
you go, girl. Say it like
I'm
it
just
is.
asking. Asking for a friend.
my girl.
Yes,
Yeah.
for friends.
Do we have to be classy?
A former fashion editor, Diana Vreeland, she was a fashion legend back in the day. She said, bad taste is like paprika. And you gotta add paprika into fashion. Yeah.
Oh, that's nice. So there you go.
Yeah.
So there's
Just
room
a
for less
dash
than
of-
classy.
That's
Yeah.
cute.
Sprinkle
Nice.
a little.
I
Otherwise,
like that. I
no,
think
otherwise
that's cute.
fashion
Okay, not a
isn't
lot.
going to evolve.
Not a lot, Tabatha.
I know, right?
Not a lot,
Not a
Tabatha.
lot.
Just a little bit.
Not
But
a
you're
lot
right-
of class.
But you're
Liz.
right
Not a
about
lot.
that. You're right about that. We had to dress appropriate to our age. Like I had, you see my outfit that I had last week that I wore on Gizzy Extremities. I had that when I was 21 years old, but I'll be 47 in June. It's still
I'm
I
older
still
than
can
you.
rock it.
Yeah,
still
and you
look
look
good.
good. Yes, you looked good. Hold on to your clothes because
Yeah.
They'll come
No.
back around.
Exactly.
some of them can come back. Some of them will come
Were
back.
you trying to touch my cheeks because your hand was already?
No, you're not touching it.
Did you shave today?
I did. I did.
Is it rough for what?
No, I
Anyway,
don't have my 5 o'clock shadow.
your 5 o'clock shadow. I know,
So
right?
we've got
But
a topic
anyways,
today, don't we?
Yes.
Yes.
But before
We try to have a topic every time.
I know.
Try,
Whether we get
try.
to the topic or
We
not.
have a good time on Honeybees.
Yeah, right.
Like every show is just awesome. Like we have a good time no matter what's going on.
Yeah,
But,
it doesn't matter what flavor that spice something.
my
It's still a
God.
good show.
yeah,
matter the
we have a good
We
time.
started
We have a
with
good time.
paprika.
Yeah.
Oh yes, in the beginning of the show, that was a paprika. That was more like a chili
The
pepper.
beginning of the show is always the best. I
I
love
love-
recapping my week.
Yeah.
I love
chili
the
pepper.
beginning of the show. I'm like, she reminds me of the Countess in American Horror Story. The hotel.
I've never
The,
seen
the
it.
Countess was played by Lady Gaga, and she appears as
Oh
the-
yeah,
as a
that's right.
vampire, and she's a vampire that has sex with multiple partners.
Okay.
Nice. Nice.
Oh, that was fun.
You're going to have to text me that so I don't forget to watch it.
Tabitha is like you guys are liking it to like peppers. Like okay, she's not jalapeno or whatever her paprika. She's like habanero. She's just like
there you
bam,
go.
bam, bam.
Habanero
Bam.
Put it there.
Oh,
She's like bam. You get our show started with a
Yes,
bam. That fire.
Bam, the fire.
That
That is
fire.
the fire,
If
for
I was on the
sure.
Instagram page, I'd be like
Right.
fire, 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 fire. I would put just like 10 fires on your
has to
Instagram.
start the show.
I know.
Somebody has
Yeah,
to.
yeah,
Fire,
girl.
fire,
You start
panties
us
on
with you start us with that 10
he started
fires,
love.
10 fires. But anyways,
started
Okay.
hot.
but really quick. Okay, before now we're getting ready to
Okay, are we
transition
about
to
to
something
be
serious.
serious?
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
but let's give a shout out to our friends who are tuning in for the second season, the second
The
segment.
second
real
season,
quick.
right.
I'm thinking like
Gonna get a
Geezy.
first season? Are we going to get through a first?
I'm thinking like Geezy and his
friend.
frenemies second season.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
we made it to
That's
second
so
season.
cool.
And
How
so-
do you decide that you're on a second season, though? How does that work?
The
The producer
second
said
season
so.
of Geezy?
Oh,
Yeah,
She said it was the second
because we've
season.
already done this
Oh.
for a year,
Oh.
and then we stopped. You know,
Okay.
it was like a recess.
Took a break?
Yeah, we
right?
took a break, and then we
sorry,
introduced
I'm old, shit.
another character.
Right.
And her character, she plays an heiress, but really, she's a self-made billionaire.
Mm-hmm.
She
Good
has
job, kid.
I
a
know,
film
right?
empire, and her name is Chantel.
I'm Chantel. Yes, I'm Chantel.
Cool, cool.
yeah,
Who wants to
Yes,
give their
and
shout outs
Delores
first?
is-
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Dolores is on there too.
yeah.
Yes.
Dr. Van Cartier.
She-
And
yes.
Dr. Van Cartier, this time she just went a little bit out there.
Out there.
And she plays the psychiatrist of Gizi, and
Yes,
that happens
cool.
to be Moa, and she offers him the blue pill or the red,
Red
pill.
pill.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Yes, yes.
Blue pill.
But we
Red
we
pill.
need somebody sexy too. We need to introduce Tabatha. We need to.
Right.
I need
The
to really-
habanero.
The habanera. I'm gonna call her the habanera.
Yeah, the,
Yeah,
the
we're gonna call
female.
her the
Yes.
spicy.
The billionaire, sexy, the billionaire, what do you call that now?
She has a
stripper.
no. She has a habanera empire.
Yes, there you go. I'll take it.
I know,
Build
right?
it into the storyline.
Let's drop it and let's go to planning.
I know,
Oh my
right?
god.
Stay
Anyhow,
tuned. Who knows? You might see Tabitha on one of the
Right.
future episodes. but anyways, so thank you for tuning in. Let's give a quick shout out. I'm gonna start us off here. Now some of them went away. I'm sorry, I moved the page, but shout out to Troy, to Felita,
Felicita.
to Cuts, to Sarah. Sorry, like
Sometimes we just don't know how to pronounce your name, and we apologize.
no.
It sounded like Carmelita from Gizi.
Oh, I got you.
Sorry, Felita. And to Marie and to Tina. So thank you so much for tuning in. Those are the newest ones that I have. And for those who were on before that, thank you. Let's see, Tabatha, who do you have that's tuned in recently?
The second half, Jennifer, Cameron, Josh, Kenneth, Ivan, BJ. I like that name. John, Warren, Skills. I love that man. Kenneth, Lisa, John, Reginald, Patsy, Sharif, Lance, Jim, Gerald, Danny. Oh, I went to school with him. Rick,
there you go.
Otis, Mark, Jim, Tito. Went to church with him, that poor guy. He probably popped out.
Oh.
Wendy and Geraldine.
Awesome. Thank you for tuning in to her friend.
Tito is the name of the dog of my manager.
Nice. There you go. There you go.
I thought you were going to say it was the brother of Michael Jackson.
Right.
Well, Tito, I met Tito Jackson. He was very sweet.
You met him? Did he come into your store?
At the Wynn Hotel. Him and his wife. I love
wow.
them. Yeah.
Nice.
Awesome.
So anyhow,
cool.
about the hashtag Me Too.
Oh, right.
Wait, hold on, Delores. Do you have any new friends to give shout outs
It looks like I still have the same old on there.
to? Okay. Well,
But,
we think.
But anybody who else is trying to reach in, thank you so much for tuning in.
Yes, thank you for all of your support. We really appreciate each and every one of you.
For realsies.
Yes.
And I'd like to say hello to mine from what I can remember before my phone died on me.
Aw.
I feel like Uma Thurman in Kill Bill. What happened to your pussy wagon? My pussy wagon died.
Pussy wagon?
Yeah, her wagon. What's
That
called
for
the
the- it
pussy
was
wagon?
kind of-
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. We're going to have to talk because you know all these cute things that I could totally be renaming my life right now. I
my
think
goodness.
I drive a pussy wagon now.
I knew I should have brought some cleaners.
Oh my gosh. I so drive
I'll talk
a
to
pussy
you
wagon.
later about that. But if you guys
Okay.
want to see it, watch the music video of Beyonce and Lady Gaga. It's there. Lady Gaga borrowed it from Quentin Tarantino. She's like, "Can I borrow the pussy wagon?" Sure.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just used to people borrowing my pussy, not my pussy wagon. But it's okay. I got you.
Oh my goodness. Anyway,
You okay?
Yeah.
too much. we got to calm it down because we're going to dive into something real serious.
I know
Okay.
it's serious.
So we need to lay the jokes aside
Let's
because
calm the nerves.
you know this is real serious stuff right now. Okay, so
Okay.
today's topic, what we're going to be discussing, rape and sexual harassment. Rape and sexual harassment. Okay, and so I thought it would be good to start off with the Me Too movement. The Me Too movement.
Yes.
So, JC, do you want to give us a quick recap about the Me Too movement, or I can, so we can, in case we have any viewers that may not
Well, the
be too familiar with it.
hashtag Me Too, I almost say pound.
Right.
The
love
hashtag
it.
Me Too movement started in Hollywood because there were so many actresses in Hollywood that were being sexually assaulted by Harvey Weinstein. And not only aspiring actresses, but big movie stars.
Oh, wow.
Big movie stars with big names. And then I think, and even a few guys out there like Brendan Fraser.
Right.
You know, an executive was touching his behind while he was waiting for his car in the
Oh my God.
and like I was shocked because you know the way he reacted to it, he started crying.
Oh.
So he wasn't the tough guy, you know, that we see on screen because his career was at stake. So all these women, and then now what happened was he had a court case, a scandalous court case, and even the wife of Harvey Weinstein, which happens to be a big fashion mogul. She's a big designer, and she owns Marquesa. And she divorced the husband
Thank
and
heavens for
took
that.
all the kids. Yeah,
Right. Thank heavens for that.
yeah. So he's basically
A shell of what he was.
down and out. And right now, I pray to God that he'll have an encounter with Jesus, because like he's he's really crushed right now.
Well, it's been on the news, the trial, and I think they just announced the jury. It's reached the jury, and the jury was having a really tough time trying to decide if he was going to be like, which account he's going to be guilty on. And I think was it today or yesterday they reached a verdict that he was found guilty on like some of the charges, not all the charges, but some of the charges that were weighed against him, and so he's going to have to go to prison. They took him, I think, right into prison, or into custody from the courthouse, and he'll be there. Well, sentencing is coming up soon, but so it seems like enough people believed his accusers to find him guilty on some of those charges, but they say that the most serious charge he was not found guilty on, which was, I can't remember. The man had there's about 7 different counts of stuff.
And he wasn't the only one that was sued. Also, Roger Ailes of Fox News, and Megyn Kelly, used to be a big Fox News
like anchor or something.
Yeah, like anchor, news anchor.
Maybe anchor.
Yeah, and my roommate, he loved watching. He's to this day he still loves watching Fox News. And I love watching Fox News because all the ladies wear a lot of colorful clothes.
Aww.
but anyhow,
I literally don't.
Yeah,
watch
it's about the
television.
fashion,
yeah,
right?
I'm all about the fashion.
yeah.
Not the
they wear a lot
politics,
of
just the fashion.
form-fitting Roland Mouret outfits. See, I even know the
Oh my
designers.
God, I love you. Right.
So anyhow, one day I came back home and I said, it's been a week now. I said that I haven't seen Megyn Kelly in the show. I said, what happened to her? And of course, my roommate was like, oh, she's a Democrat. She's not there anymore. And then I said, oh, okay, is that the answer? I said, okay. And then many years later, which last year, there was a movie that came out about the scandal of Roger Ailes. And the main subject matter was Megyn Kelly. And how she was targeted and sexually assaulted by Roger Ailes and also another lady. And it's funny, but when you see the trailer, when you see the trailer of Bombshell, this movie is called Bombshell. It's Margot Robbie, Charlize Theron, who looked exactly like, they made her to look like Megyn Kelly. I don't know, and she kind of made her lips look like she was having a paralysis, like that on the side. And then in comes Nicole Kidman, and they don't talk. They don't talk inside the elevator. And the thing that was even more disturbing was the soundtrack. It was and
like Willy Wonka
that
and
was
the
a
Chocolate
trailer.
Factory?
That was a
Right,
trailer.
practically.
And I was like, what's this movie gonna be? So as soon as
awesome.
the elevator opens, and of course it was an awkward moment for the 3 women. I didn't know what the hell was so
was about to
awkward
happen.
about it. And it turns out that they were all assaulted by Roger.
the guy.
And that's why. And then she came out from the elevator, and in the background was Fox News. And then it dawned, and I'm like, oh.
That's kind of hilarious.
Okay. And then I had to see the movie, and it's heartbreaking.
I'll have to watch that.
Yeah.
I literally don't watch television, so when you're sitting here giving a recap of things that are going on, I had no idea about a trial. I had no idea about blah, blah, blah. I really don't watch television, so thank you for
Check
that
Yahoo
update.
News. Or
I really
CNN.
just don't.
Oh, I mean, like on your phone.
I know, I understand.
Okay.
I literally just don't. So I don't know why.
I try to stay up
just
on
don't.
the current events because
And
I didn't know
in
what's
the
going
movie,
on.
they were saying the Charlize Theron as Megyn Kelly, she's talking to the younger news reporter that she was victimized by Roger, and she wasn't trying to be insensitive, but she said, "Wake up, lady! The only way that you'll get a promotion here in this station if you
Yeah.
you know.
So I should be president by now
Oh,
Tabatha.
okay.
of lots of stuff. I'm just saying.
So,
So it just runs rampant though, and it's
I'm
crazy
going
to
to
sit
take over the world.
right. It's crazy to sit there and think that
Yeah.
people that you look at and you feel are powerful are not always powerful
No,
in
they're
every situation. Every
Right.
situation is, completely different than another. There are things that situations where I'm powerful, and there's situations where I'm like, ooh, this makes me nervous, you know. So it's just interesting you just look at these people and you think, wow, you've got it made, you've got, the world on a platter, and then you're like, oh wow, you were really hurt, you were really victimized, and it just kind of crushes you.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. There was, I think, even I was just reading just earlier today, there's a lady that sang a song, and I think her name is Duffy or something. Duffy had a hit a while back. I just was reading this before like a little bit before the show, and she stepped out of the limelight after her second album because she says that she was raped.
Oh wow.
And it took her a lot of time to try to heal and get over that, and so she stepped back and worked on herself, and just now it's been, I think, about 10 years, and she just made her first Instagram post or
Interesting.
something. She's feeling better to where she can go ahead and try to step back out into the limelight, but she said she needed to step away. I think with so the Me Too movement, there's a lot of people kind of talking about it now.
Yeah.
With these celebrities.
Yes.
And these powerful men, men, or I don't know if I've heard of it the opposite way, but who
Mostly
are
the
being
women.
accused of
Well,
sexual harassment, rape, things like that, and using their power to get the women to do these kinds of things and stuff. Sometimes the women seem to be kind of waiting like years and years or even decades.
Right. Yeah.
What do you guys think about that? Like, do you think that kind of makes a bigger question about the credibility if they've waited like years and decades later to make a claim against someone?
I don't necessarily think so. Decades kind of pushes it a little bit in my mind, but it's also, there's so much that goes into that. When you look at someone that's been raped or is being raped or assaulted or whatnot, and if it's by someone in power over your job and power over your livelihood, that's paying your rent, putting food in your mouth, taking care of your kids. There are so many things to take into consideration. Even when it doesn't encompass all of those things, there's a lot to take into consideration. Your personal safety. Do you want to confront that person and go to court or whatnot? So there's a lot at stake. So, and then the other thing is, not everybody is willing or comfortable sharing something so personal and so traumatic. So when you sit there and say, well, why didn't you tell 20 years ago? Well, fuck, I couldn't. It wasn't anybody's business at that point. It wasn't something somebody was comfortable with or whatever. So I don't really think that when you're looking at a time frame that you can critique that at all, because we as an outsider have absolutely no idea
that's right.
what the circumstances surrounding it, have been. So, and it can happen to anybody under any circumstance and at any time. And you, quite honestly, you don't really expect it. You're just, when something like that happens, you're like, what the hell just happened?
Right. Yeah.
So, I don't know. There's a lot that goes into it. And I know that, I'll just share a little bit of a personal story for myself. When you sit there and you look at it from the outside, you're like, man, if that happened to me, I'm going to the hospital, I'm getting checked out, I'm going to court, I'm talking to the police, I'm blah, 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 this bastard's not going to get away with this. I mean, literally, those things go through your mind. And then it happens, and then you're like, oh, shit. This is serious.
Yeah.
And the reality
Yes,
of the
exactly.
situation, what it entails, where your emotions are, what goes into, stake is completely different than what you think it's going to be. So in December of last year, which was just 3 months ago, I was raped by 2 men in a parking garage on the strip.
Tabatha. No.
So these were
wow.
people that I didn't know, that I had just run into, and they took advantage of a situation. But so up until then, you sit there and think, I would handle it this way. Then it happens, and I'll just tell you what my concerns are, because this is something that I think that we don't really talk about. I'm a
Right.
really open person.
Yeah.
So, and even when you sit there and look at, I'm open with my sexuality, I'm open with my partners, nothing I do is really a secret,
Right.
or whatnot. That still doesn't mean that I want to have sex with everybody.
Right,
That still
right,
doesn't
yeah,
mean
yeah.
that it's a comfortable situation and
Yes.
that I'm willing to do something.
Right.
Those things always have to have a mutual respect. So that being said, just because somebody is sexual doesn't mean
Yeah,
that every
yeah,
situation is
absolutely.
okay. But some of the things that I have to take into consideration are literally safety. So one of the men that did it is a professional boxing coach. And
Wow.
I'm like, not only can he kick my ass, because I knew that, and that was part of my, submission, in a sense that I'm not pulling his hair. I'm not, well, I mean, black men don't really have hair like that. But do you know what I mean? Like, I'm not scratching up his face trying to get away. No, because he can beat my ass. And, I've been made aware of what he does for a living before this happened. So just, even in the situation, you don't respond how you think you would. You think you'd come out kicking and, fighting and screaming and whatever. No, you're in a situation where you're just trying to make it out alive and
Yes.
as unharmed as you can.
Yes.
So when I'm sitting there and I'm talking to the detectives and I'm stressed out about it and I'm upset about it and I'm worried about it, I'm like, if there's enough evidence, because I went to the hospital right away. When I was let go, I went into the hotel and had them call me an ambulance. And so I went and, gave evidence and stuff right away. But it's kind of one of those things where I'm like, if we have to talk to them and try to get an admission of guilt,
Yes.
I'm not fucking doing this, because you're not going to give these people a heads up that there's a situation that's being investigated. It's either we have enough information to go to court
Yes.
on that own, or we don't say anything at all, because I'm not going to sit here and be worried for my safety. So they know
Right,
I'm a
yeah.
comedian. It's easy to find us.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm on Facebook. They know my name. I kind of know theirs and stuff like that. So it's literally a safety issue. And I've calmed down talking to the detectives for several weeks now, because I am just stressed the fuck out.
Oh my
Like,
goodness,
literally.
yeah.
So you can't really judge how somebody will
No, you
respond to
cannot,
something,
yeah.
or how you
Yeah,
would,
that's true.
Yeah.
because you really don't know until you get there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
well, thank you so much for sharing your story. That's so
Yes.
personal, and
Well, thank you. I know I'm like awkward, but I don't know.
thank you,
It's a
though.
discussion
That's-
that people are afraid to have, and I really don't mind having it. So I mean, like, I mind, but it's
Yeah,
something
yeah.
I'm a little bit more open with my life. So
I
yeah,
hear
so
you,
it's just
yeah.
it's stressful.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
thank you for sharing that. That takes a lot of, I think, courage to share something so personal. Being
Right.
the victim of
Yeah.
a crime, because it can be hard to say those things. It can be hard to
Right,
tell
yeah.
others
Yes,
about an
exactly.
experience
Yes.
like that. Even though we may be open about so many other things. Sometimes like sometimes victims may take that stuff to the grave. You may never know
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
can
sure.
imagine, that's happened
with
a lot.
something. And so just by sharing your story, you don't know whose lives you may be touching by being able to
Exactly.
to
Yeah.
share your
Exactly.
story, because it is your story. And sometimes it can be hard to find strength to do such a thing, and support
Yeah.
having been being the victim of something like that. So
Yeah.
thank you for that. I need to say that before we move
I
on
mean,
to anything else.
I can't even, condemn or judge anyone who took them years to be able to disclose that, because
Right.
probably
Well,
they're still walking
Yeah.
around with the stigma, the trauma, and the wound.
and it's humiliating.
It is.
You know,
It is.
even
Yeah.
when I was down there, it was not so much humiliating for me because I don't really have you know what I mean? Like I'm not self-conscious like that in a way,
Right.
but it was when they ask you the questions and they ask you them in a certain way, they're collecting evidence and they're collecting information, but when you're being spoken to, you're like, really? Like, did you say it like that? Or did you almost feel as if you're being questioned in a manner that's questionable, you know, like they're not sure about what you're saying or something. So
Like if you might be lying or something.
Right, just their, you know, and you're just the way they word things sometimes, you're just like, that was insensitive.
Yes.
That was insensitive. So like when before I even left the hotel and I had to tell the person that I walked up to, you know, that worked there as an employee what had happened and could he please call me an ambulance, then of course he needed to call the head of security and they came down. The head of security at this hotel is, I swear to you, like a 24-year-old kid, you know, and so he comes up and I could barely get out a couple words to the first guy. So then I see a security officer and I see the head of security come down and they're like, what's going on? What do we need to call an ambulance for? And I'm in shock. I'm like, oh my God, I can't even say this.
Yeah.
And so the look on my face had to have been like, there's clearly something wrong and she needs a minute. But the guy was like, I need to know what you need an ambulance for.
Yeah.
What's going on? And I'm like, I look at the security officer, like she's going to have it. Like she has no idea yet. And I look back at the gentleman that I told, and I'm like looking at him like, can you just tell the guy?
Right.
And he was like, I can't touch this. I can't touch this. And then the security guy said something else, and I just got fucking pissed. I said, if you don't give me a motherfucking moment to be able to compose myself so that I can tell you that I was just fucking raped and dropped here, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. And then he's like, oh, well, I'll be damned. Okay. So, but I'm like, he should have had compassion under any circumstance where somebody's needing help. But he was so young and inexperienced with life that situation didn't
cross his mind.
Yeah.
Like he didn't think that could have happened. Something like that could have happened.
That could have happened. Or that, you know, and older people, they don't like to talk about stuff. They may have just had a stroke and they're like, that's none of your business, son. You know what I mean? They're just quite a bit more private. So it was a little bit hard. So just things like that. You're just like, you're not in the mood. Let me just say that. You're not in the mood for anybody's shit. And that was shit that, you know, I didn't expect and he didn't expect, and you know, we're here now.
Yeah.
Shout out to the hotel.
Say it again.
Shout out to the hotel.
Oh right, shout out. Yeah,
Shout
there was
out to the
actually
hotel,
two.
yeah.
I was taken from one to another and then brought back. So there's two of them involved. But the one thing about Vegas though is that I think that they say that we have like the best detectives ever. Like they get all the cases solved. Let me tell you, there are so many cameras in this place.
Yeah.
How can you not solve crime?
Right.
How can you not solve crime with so many cameras? So like literally within hours, they had tapes from all these places. Because I'm like, I went here, I went here, I went here. I think at this point they had me here because I don't know for the whole time where we were at. I was incapacitated. And then I'm like, and then I just remember being dropped back off. So I can give you part of the details. You're going to have to literally follow the cameras to get you to where.
To get the whole picture.
Yeah, think I was where I maybe was. But yeah, it's crazy. So I'm just like, how can you not solve crime when you have a camera? All millions of the cameras. But I don't know. So I'm not sure how good of detectives they really are, but there's a lot of camera evidence for everything.
But I highly commend you for being strong enough and bold enough to be able to share. You know what had happened to you. Something similar happened to me many years ago in high school. This happened in the Philippines, and you know, I don't take it lightly the same way that Tabatha doesn't take it lightly. I went to the movie theater by myself. This is what happens when I cut classes.
Oh,
Right.
And I was molested by an older guy in the movie theater.
I'm so sorry. Goodness
And-
gracious.
It's all up in God's hands now. I was
Yeah.
molested in the movie theater, and it took probably a month later, and I shared it to one person, and then years later, when I did a lot of Christian healing, when I walked through my healing, that's the time that I just laid it out on the table.
Nice. Nice.
So that's what I
Well, I
did.
remember
yeah.
I was just I was young. Mine was considered how you say
Statutory rape.
Statutory rape.
Yeah, but I
Yeah.
got that when I was younger. Yeah, and
Oh, my
I learned the
goodness.
hard way. My parents, that's bad. That's
You
pretty
were-
bad.
Mercy.
Yeah, but that scared the fire out of me right there.
Of course, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
because I mean, because I think because whether you have lots of experience, being with people in a sexual way or whatever or not, but when it's done to you and you haven't given permission or it's not okay or you're least expecting it and stuff, and then it's like then it can just take like a whole nother turn, a whole nother like meaning. I mean, it's because it's like because that line was crossed.
Yeah.
It's one thing if you're okay with it, right?
Exactly.
And you
Yeah.
give that
No,
consent.
goodness,
Yeah.
wow.
But when you didn't give the consent, then it's like there's nothing that's ever okay about that, like at all. And and sadly here in our country, it happens very often. It happens very often. I have a stat here. It says that it's talking about sexual violence. It affects millions of Americans. And it says that every 73 seconds, an American is sexually assaulted.
Yeah.
73 seconds. That's just over every minute. Someone is becoming the victim of sexual violence. That's alarming.
Yeah, it is. I really
That is
didn't know it was that
alarming.
high.
And
Yeah,
the
it's
sad part about it, it's not only happening here in the United States, but around the world. And
Of
most
course.
especially for countries where they have no human rights protection.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't even think of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Most especially.
Right, right. At least I think here in America, if someone has been the victim
Yeah.
of a sexual crime, there are ways to try to report it. Like going to the hospital and going to the police station and things like that. But in some countries, women who bring those kinds of charges, they can be victimized for another
Right,
reason.
yeah.
Because they're bringing allegations of rape or something, against a man.
And then they'll say that it's your fault for putting yourself out there.
Right.
You know
Yeah,
how-
exactly.
That's-
They put the blame on
they
you.
put the blame on the
Yeah.
victim.
Right,
Yeah.
and because in some
And it's bad enough too. Sometimes you can't find the person they escaped because this person escaped. Like what happened to me.
Mhm.
Couldn't
Oh
find
my
the person.
goodness. I'm so sorry about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, 'cause my parents wanted to call the police.
Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm. It's but even just we're just a small amount here, but it appears that this represents
Us, yeah.
represents
This
you know
represents us.
and
Yeah.
and so we have a big problem here.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, if it's happening just over every minute to someone in our country, do we think that maybe the over sexualization of like music and movies and shows, like why do we have someone being assaulted every 73
Yeah,
seconds in our
I-
country sexually like that? What is up with
I'm
that?
worried
Yes.
about the music that the younger generation are listening
Yeah,
right now
exactly.
because it's about gang banging, gang rape, and it's
Yeah.
it's the whole, and the parents are alarmed,
Well,
and
yeah.
that's why I understand when they say shut that music down. You know,
Right.
shut it down.
Yeah, that's how my
Yeah.
father was. He didn't allow us to listen to certain things. Same with my mom too. We couldn't listen to certain things coming up, and even though we snuck certain ones with the Too Short and stuff.
Right.
Daddy heard that. He said his words. He said he didn't say it in the polite way. He said it in a strict way. He said, "Turn that blah 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 out."
Yeah, yeah.
Right. You know, I think
We
that
gonna sneak it.
yeah, I know, and we all do those things about with something or
Yeah.
whatever. But you know, I think that the relationships that we have with our kids and while we're raising them or whatever, if we're showing them how to give back to the community and we're showing them how to be grateful for things and how to be thoughtful towards others, that we might have the capacity to lessen tendencies that would be aggressive. But I also, you have to take into consideration that even if we do a good job parenting, we are not in control of somebody else and their desires or their mental capacity or whatnot. So as much as we try, and you of course don't ever want to not try, you just still don't, you can't control somebody else. You know, you can't know how they were made and how their heart works and, you know, the trauma that they maybe went through before they traumatized you. So that's just a tricky situation where it's, you know, nature or nurture or, you know, how do we come across these things? Because when you look at it, you know, like with the president, and they're saying things like, well, if he grabbed a pussy, then everybody's going to start grabbing pussy or whatever. He can grab all the pussy he wants. It doesn't mean that I'm ever going to do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can discern
Yeah.
just because somebody else does something or, you know, somebody might think it's acceptable doesn't mean I'm going to do that. And we all have things that we're comfortable doing that are a little questionable and not comfortable doing, you know, and they're all just, I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know that we can really, I think that we need to limit as best we can as parents what our children have access to. But then if you also don't discuss those things that you don't want them to have access to, it makes it so much more intriguing. And if you don't discuss the rights of other people, and if you don't discuss, hey, if you end up getting somebody pregnant, come tell mom. Because we can work through it. So, you know, that's literally a conversation I had with my kids, you know, and I had it with my boys, you know, because I'm like, look, if somebody ends up pregnant, you come tell mom. You don't make choices without talking to moms. It's going to be a little uncomfortable, but that's what moms do is they help you through situations. So don't be afraid, you know, to bring those things. It doesn't mean that you're not going to get a little bit of a side eye. But don't be afraid to, you know, have everybody helping you make choices that needs to be involved. So I don't know. You need to talk about the good things, the bad things, the indifferent things, and just be having discussions, and then pray that, you know, they've learned enough from you that they make good choices. But not everybody still is going to. And there's really no fault necessarily on what we've done, because typically parents really do just try their best with the hands that they've been given.
That's right. Yeah.
So
that's right.
Right, but got to be careful with what you do with those hands because, you know, it's. I think it runs in families or generations or something where it's like, I mean, what I've heard is that it can be a cyclical thing in the family.
Well,
I mean, like, so if a parent is sexually abusing their children or children in the you know, an extended fam or someone in the family is abusing the children, you know, then those children may continue that on, you know, with the next generation and things like that. So,
well, here's another thing to consider with that, though. When you look at who you are as a person, and then you're creating babies into this world, who I am when I become pregnant and during my pregnancy, my emotions, my feelings, my thoughts, my DNA, all of that is in DNA. You don't just have some little markers and we're just going to have blue eyes and we're going to have this and we're going to have that.
Right.
Those emotions and those things that you're feeling and doing while you're pregnant get passed on to babies. So if I have a happy, healthy attitude in pregnancy, I'm going to have a healthier minded child. If I've got all this trauma, it's stressful, I don't know how I'm going to buy diapers, I'm a single mom, I'm a this or that. That gets passed on to a developing baby. So everything that we're doing and feeling. So when you look at, it's not just the physical act itself of hurting somebody. You've got this DNA and these beings that are passing stuff down.
Yes.
It might literally be in your DNA a little bit of yickiness. I mean, you know what I mean? So, it's just a big discussion.
Well, there's on one of the networks, I think Lifetime, they're getting ready to come out with one of their movies. And I mean, I've just seen the commercials for it, but it's about a woman who was raped and, a violent rape, and she ended up becoming pregnant.
Oh, wow.
As a result of the rape. I think it's...
Oh, was she the one in a coma?
It might be based... I can't remember if it's based off... I'm not sure if it's based off of a true... It might be based off of a true story. I think they mentioned Georgia. But she became pregnant, and she decided to keep the child.
I have a family member that's done that.
And it was a little girl.
That should be interesting.
And the man is... the perpetrator... I guess he's free, or I don't know if she didn't bring charges against him and that's why he's free, or if he served time and he's free. But somewhere where the man wants access to his child.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
See, now that
he wants access to his little girl, his little girl.
Wow.
So, it's coming on Lifetime sometime soon. But
that'll be interesting.
But So sometimes children are produced in under these terrible circumstances of rape, and what do you do? What would you do? Like,
people have strong opinions about that, because most people, from the conversations that I've had, say that they would never bear a child from rape, and I actually would, because I am completely against abortion. But I've got a family member, and she was raped, and she chose to have the baby. So the families, they chose not to turn it into the police because they did not want the guy, who it was somebody she knew, to know that she was pregnant by him and have him want to be involved with the baby. So they didn't turn it in. Wow. They just severed communication and made sure that the people that were close to them knew this is not an okay person to be around. And then she had the baby and whatnot, but that baby is so loved and so amazing. But you have to make sure that your mindset is accepting of the situation in its entirety, because you're going to be looking at a baby that looks like the perpetrator. You're going to be looking at a baby and having to look at him in a loving way and care for him and want to be a part of his every need, and not hold that baby in any kind of stigma or accountable for something that he absolutely didn't do.
Right.
And he is such a loved baby. I'm so happy that that's how the situation turned out. It really couldn't have worked out any better than it did. She got a beautiful baby out of it. It was unfortunate, but that unfortunate incident didn't ruin the rest of her life just because it was unexpected and it was violent. So, but that's not what, in my experience, I've heard people, have done very often.
Oh,
so.
wow.
Right.
Yeah. That's grace right there.
Absolutely.
That's
Absolutely.
extending the grace of God to
to be able
the
to
undeserving.
Well, to choose life,
exactly.
choose life that was created in such darkness, like in such a crazy moment moments in time.
So many things come out of darkness, though, that are amazingly beautiful. So you can't discount that in this situation when it happens in all the other situations too, and it happened, for this one. So I'm grateful for it. But
how it's turned out. How it's turned out.
Thank you for that clarification.
Yes.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, where the website where I got the statistic from, where they said every 73 Oh, it was 72, wasn't it? Or was it
No, it
73?
was 73.
Okay, thanks.
I know
Every
you're like,
73 seconds. I'm like, is this a moving clock?
I love. No, it's 73.
Where they, the first thing, like at the top of their, this is at the top of their page, it says, you know, every 73 seconds an American is sexually assaulted. This is from an organization called RAINN, RAINN, and they have a lot of amazing statistics and information out there about sexual assault here in our country. And it appears they also have a phone number that you can call, and a live chat option as well, and to donate as well. So it looks like they're about getting the information out there, being a resource, if you might be if you need more information. So, but it's from RAINN. I was scrolling through and I'm like, oh my goodness, I can't, we were talking about young people. Oh, so they said on average, almost 500,000 people are of 12 or older are victims of rape and sexual assault each year in our country. They said 433,000. That's
Right.
That's 433,000 too many.
Right.
You know,
Exactly.
it really should be it should be zero. There should never be anyone a victim of these things. They said that younger people are at higher risk of sexual violence. The ages 12 to 34 are the highest risk years for rape and sexual assault. And they also said that women and girls experience sexual violence at a higher rate. And here we go. They said 1 out of every 6 American women have been the victim of an attempted or completed rape in her lifetime. So that 1 out of 6. So you can think of the amount of women in your family, or your group of friends, ladies, your coworkers, the women at school. 1 out of 6. So we don't have to go too far.
Right.
We didn't go far here.
Right.
Yeah.
To see how so many lives have been impacted by these terrible things. They said that, again, younger women are more likely to be victims of rape and attempted rape and sexual assault. They're looking at ages 16 to 19. They're 4 times more likely. That's like middle high school, very early college. Young women, be careful, what you're doing when you're in high school and college, because, certain activities can mess with your mind and you may not really even know what's going on at the time, so we should be careful. And then they also said the college women, ages 18 through 24, they're 3 times more likely to also be assaulted than the women in general public. They also have a stat out here about men and boys. They said men and boys are also affected by sexual violence. And,
no one is spared. Yeah.
Right,
no
right.
One is spared for sure.
They said that men ages 18 to 24 who are college age are 5 times more likely than non-students of the same age to be the victim of rape and sexual assault. It seems, it says, and someone has one thing people question about is, how come it seems like there's more women or women who are affected, but there's a lot of men who've also been the victim.
Yes.
Who've also been the victim.
Yes, true.
They said that about 3% of American men, which would be about 1 in 33, have experienced an attempted or completed rape in their lifetime.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Yep. And they said 1 out of every 10 males. Victims, are male. 1 out of 10 of all victims are men. These are some
I know somebody who was raped by the own
statistics.
mom, the own mother raped him.
Oh, wow.
No, but I'm not trying to make light of this story, because it's really wow something. I brought this friend of mine to work, and because he was so handsome and hunk, one of my lady friends was like, "Oh, JC, I don't blame the mouth." I was like, "Shut up, shut up."
You're like,
Right.
not today, not
Girl.
today. Right.
Right. Yeah.
I was
Incest.
like-
Incest. It happens.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother topic. But yes, they say transgender students are at high risk
Yes.
for sexual violence. They said about 21% of TGQN, that's transgender, genderqueer, non-conforming college students have been sexually assaulted, compared to 18% of non TGQN females.
What percentage of those? I'm sorry, say that one more time.
21%.
21%. Okay.
Of college of TGQN college students have been sexually assaulted. So far, what we're seeing here is it seems like to happen a lot to younger people. What is going on these high school and college campuses, like
Right.
or with people. Well, college, like that's like kind of its own little community in a way, but it's
Right.
there's not enough security or something. There's not enough stuff being done.
Well, when you think about it, when you're looking at high school and college kids, that's where people are gaining their wings. That's where
Yes.
people are gaining their experiences. They're out there making choices on their own for the first time. And they're testing boundaries. They're learning about themselves. That's a huge growing, spurt with mentally and, still physically and all that kind of thing. They're kind of growing into themselves and their sexuality where they weren't hardly experiencing those things, just years prior. So it's got to start with conversation rather than avoiding those conversations, actually having them. And saying we don't touch people that don't care to be touched. We make sure that we literally ask for permission or something. I mean, I almost think it needs to be that dramatic of a conversation, because if we haven't had the conversation with it, we can't presume that they have the right answer or the right response.
Right.
If I haven't talked to my son and my daughter about, if somebody's uncomfortable, even if you're excited, that means we do it a different time. If it's, acceptable, then we don't do it now. But people just tend to think that they want to talk about all the happy things,
Right.
and literally don't say, I talk to kids about, not stealing and not damaging people's property and, stuff like that. And I use the moments where I see something happening, or I used to watch a little bit of TV. You see something on the news or, that's not how we choose to act. That's not what we choose to do. We choose to do this
teachable
instead.
moments.
So,
Having
I
those
love it when
teaching-
you say that. I've never heard that term before you said it, but I love it. So I don't know. You just can't avoid the tough situations because they need that guidance. They need the conversation, whether you want to have it with them or not.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
right.
Do you think maybe with people in those age brackets, it might be like consider, maybe their parents didn't have those talks with them. Maybe someone in their family is doing those things to them, and they're just maybe carrying on. But also, like, what about things about like drinking and drugs and stuff like that? Like maybe some of those mind altering type.
Well,
things
I
might-
can't talk about drugs, but I can talk about sex because I had a highly sexualized childhood back home in the Philippines. And my poor mom, of course, she couldn't really attend to me because she was working in all these colleges and universities trying to make ends meet.
Right.
And well, fortunately and unfortunately, I grew up in my grandfather's house, so the house was provided for. But there were things happening in that house that shouldn't happen to a kid.
Right.
Like because my grandfather had maids, and he had some male servants, and it happened with a male servant. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So you were exposed to stuff that really was traumatizing and confusing, and then nobody thinks to that conversation
No,
didn't
and
to happen.
here's the thing is that I didn't feel like it was their fault because I feel like I was the one that instigated it because at a young age I was already, you know, like sexually curious, oh my goodness. You know, maybe because I didn't really have a home, you know, with a mom and a dad and all that. So I was like up for grabs. And not to mention the Donna Summer music at night didn't really love to love you, baby. and the male servant, you know, dancing to that music like in front of me like some male stripper. That didn't help.
Right. Well, thank you so much, you know, for sharing that aspect, you know,
But,
that as
It's
well.
funny and not funny at the same time because a kid shouldn't go through this.
Right,
you know.
right.
Yes.
You know, ever. And that's why we do have to be so careful about
Yeah.
what our children, who is around our children, who do we trust our children
Even my
with.
grandkids, I'm very protected who I'll be
The
around.
topic is so serious. I
Yes.
need some fries.
I know she brought those
Maria-
over so
Maria
long
brought
ago,
the French
and
fries.
I'm like,
I have
Right.
to eat.
I feel like
yeah.
they're from somewhere special.
Yes.
Where are they from?
Trisha.
Oh,
In and
okay.
out,
I
okay.
have like been to In and Out once a long time ago.
Right.
You better save some of that sauce.
So,
Mustard.
Oh, okay. We have more sauce. We have more sauce.
And we have more fries.
There,
Oh,
we have
okay, cool.
plenty.
Pay us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, In and Out.
Thank you.
I just
In
go
and Out.
behind like
Yes.
that.
I know, right? I'm in the middle. I should just hold it right.
Water.
I should just hold it right
No.
here.
No, I
thank
think we're
you.
okay, love.
But
Coca-Cola.
they also on rain.org they share what some of the long-term effects that sexual violence can have on its victims. They say that the likelihood that a person suffers suicidal or depressive thoughts increases after sexual violence. They said that 94% of women who are raped experience symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder
Yeah.
during the 2 weeks following the rape.
PTSD essentially.
Yes,
And further, right?
and they said that for 30% of the women, they report that that symptoms of PTSD can go on for as long as up to 9 months after the rape has happened.
I can imagine it can go way far past that as well. I've known for it too with other people.
They also say that 33% of women who are raped have contemplated suicide.
Oh God.
Right?
33% of women who've been raped have contemplated suicide.
I believe it.
And they
I
said
believe it too.
13% of women who are raped attempt suicide. 13% of women rape victims attempt it. And they say that approximately 70% of rape or sexual assault victims experience moderate to severe distress, a larger percentage than for any other violent crime. So those were some those are some of the initial stats. They said that people who have been sexually assaulted are more likely to use drugs than the general public. And then they break it down here. They said that they're 3.4 times more likely to use marijuana.
Oh God.
They are 6 times more likely to use cocaine and 10 times more likely to use other major drugs. The people who've been victimized sexually. And they said that sexual violence also affects the victim's relationships with their family and friends and coworkers. They said that 38% of victims of sexual violence experience work or school problems, which can include significant problems with a boss, coworker, or peer. And they said that 37% experienced family and friend problems, including getting into arguments more frequently than before, and not feeling like they're able to trust their family and friends.
Well, right. Yep.
Or not feeling as close to their family and friends as they did before that crime happened. Just a few more. They said that 84% of survivors who are victimized by an intimate partner experience professional and emotional issues, including moderate to severe distress or increased problems at work and school. 84%, that's going towards 100%
That's huge.
of those who've been victimized by an intimate
Right. So
partner.
by somebody that they know and had trust in.
Right. Sure. And they said that 79% of survivors who are victimized by a family member or close friend or acquaintance experience professional or emotional issues,
Hey, Jasmine.
including moderate to severe distress and increased problems at work and school. And they said that 67% of survivors who are victimized by a stranger now experience professional and emotional problems, including moderate to severe distress or increased problems at work and school. So here we're seeing that, that the effects can be far reaching, that they can impact our our relationships with our families, our friends, our acquaintances, and that it doesn't. I mean, if we're looking at 67%, 79%, and 84%, I mean that's all over 50%. So you're looking at a lot of people who are going through more stress in their lives at work and school, and how they're dealing with the people that in their circles. Yeah. Because they've been a victim of such a terrible crime. And
just get a few more.
Yes. They said, when they said that people are having more, that 37% of them are getting into more arguments more frequently than before and stuff. It almost sounds like their personalities might, there's a chance that the personalities can be changed.
For sure.
Yes.
Can be
Absolutely.
altered.
Their dispositions.
And not feeling like they're able to trust.
Yep.
So like trust can be taken away, when we're the victim of such terrible crimes.
True.
And they go on and on. They have lots of amazingly sad statistics about what is going on here in our country. We need to somehow figure out how to stop this. This is insanity. This is insane. That so many people, it almost seems like everyone has been a victim. That's what it almost seems like. It seems like most people, a good portion of people, have been victimized in one way, shape, or form. And I guess if you're not the victim, then maybe a lot of them are the perpetrators.
Yeah.
And maybe somewhere in the middle there might be a percent who's neither. But it seems like, if there's victims, that means there's people who are doing it as well. Do you think that with the Me Too movement going on now and stuff and everything, that, like you were saying, it's important to have those talks with your children about, what's okay or not okay and things like that?
That's very
I've heard
important.
some parents
very important.
say,
You must talk with your kids.
I've heard some parents who have sons, or some men now, who they say, well, since there's so many accusations now of rape and sexual harassment, like maybe they need to you almost need to drop a contract. It almost feels like when you're interacting with someone of the opposite sex, to make
take
sure
that over the latter. For
to
sure.
make sure that the woman may not come back and say, oh no, that wasn't consensual, that was rape. Like some men are kind of walking on eggshells now, it appears, and parents who have sons because
the conversation is finally out there. The conversation. I don't remember having these kinds of conversations when I was growing up and little.
Right.
I do remember.
Yeah.
My mom was molested by a family member, so I actually do remember her saying to me, "If anybody touches you, even if it's your dad, you come tell me." And we're like, "All right," because we're like, "Why would you say that?" But she's like, "It doesn't matter who's done what. If something's happened to you, you come tell me."
Yeah.
And that was based off of her own experience of, it's not okay if anybody does it, so make sure that somebody's made aware or whatnot. But even if you're, that gets back to the whole power play of the situation itself, though. Even if you're having somebody sign a contract, literally, when you're at work, and these network people, they had contracts. That didn't mean that, not contracts for that, but do you know what I'm saying? That a contract doesn't mean, just because you've signed something doesn't mean that you didn't do it under duress.
Right.
There are people that are, said to have murdered people. They didn't really do it, but they're under such duress that they're like, fuck it, let me sign this paper. I gotta get the hell out of here. Yeah. Something has to stop or I'm going to lose my mind. So signing a contract, it sounds like a solution or whatnot, but really, you just have to be respectful of people. If you're respectful of people and you're with respectful people as well, then you are really not going to run into a problem under most circumstances.
But do you think that all, okay, let's say 100% of the rape and sexual assault allegations against the 100% of the accused perpetrators, right? Do you think 100% of them are true, or do you think sometimes what can happen might be that maybe the encounter really was consensual,
right?
But maybe the man decided, maybe she liked him and he decided he didn't want to be with her, and it could be a sour grapes thing. maybe he could go on to be rich and powerful, and she felt slighted, and she's saying, well, it was. It may have been consensual, but now she's like, no, it's not, and now she wants to go out, like a money grab, or to tarnish one's public persona. Like, do you?
I know for a fact that happens.
Sometimes there, people can be vengeful sometimes,
people can be.
And take what may have been where everyone was cool with it,
right?
But then for whatever reason, something happens or whatever, and then the person goes back and says, no, really, it wasn't. And then there's men who are in the public who are being accused of these things.
Anybody.
And then, now it's kind of like, if you just make an allegation, the person is kind of already found guilty in the public's eye.
And they are.
And they can lose their jobs, and they can lose.
Absolutely.
Based off of just pure allegation, not even like enough evidence. Do you think that is possible, that there might be some mistruths there, some
my daughter herself did that.
Humans are becoming so greedy.
Well, they are, but people do things when they're not sure how to handle situations. But my middle daughter, was in a relationship with this kid, and kid meaning they're both the same, age or whatnot. They were in high school, and he decided that he didn't want to be with her, and so she made an accusation that he had raped her. Thankfully, she made the accusation within a place that there were cameras, and so there was definitely a little bit of an altercation. But what she said happened absolutely did not happen.
Did not happen, yeah.
And so you just sit there, you hope that your child wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
But you're also thankful that there was a way to know for sure if it happened or not.
Right. Yeah.
So, like if your child was truly a victim of such a terrible thing.
So yeah, she was not. And, so the little guy was okay. But that's devastating as a parent to look at your babe and be like, I love you so much.
Right.
How could you have tried to hurt somebody in that fashion?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
and you're just like, I'm so glad that, you know, I hate that she did it, but I'm so glad that there was a way that the truth was available and somebody wasn't, you know, damaged by something that they didn't do.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was on a flight recently, and they, you know, like some of the flights now, they have the screens and you can watch movies. I love that about Delta. Just saying.
You're like, just saying,
the longer flights you have screens, everybody can watch whatever they have movies. But there was a movie about, based off a true story. Maybe you guys have heard of this. But this man, a young lady made an allegation against this man. They were like in high school, that he raped her when he really didn't rape her.
Right.
Oh, wow.
But because of the pressures of the case, he just the council decided, his council, because he could have faced even more time in prison. And he was on his way to like football, like he was going to be like a star football player. Like they saw him going to the NFL and everything. But this allegation, you know, he went ahead and pled guilty to like lesser charges or something. He went to prison, but he maintained his innocence in prison, and he decided to write the league. You know, the league that tries to fight for the innocent people. People who are
victimized.
Innocent crimes. I mean, they're innocent of the crimes that they've been convicted of.
Innocent crime.
And so the movie follows this story, his story. It's amazing. It just came out like, you know, maybe towards the end of last year or something. Cool. I can't remember his name, but you know, anyways, his life was, you know, ruined, what it appears like, for many years, and he starts trying to fight this conviction and all this stuff, and in the end,
was he exonerated?
He was,
nice.
Yes, he was able to, you know, get the victim, the alleged victim, had, you know, admitted that it didn't happen.
Oh my gosh.
That it didn't even happen. And they go back and they're looking at where she says it happened and where they're witnesses and stuff. But it took a whole big chunk of the man's life away because he was in prison fighting a false accusation. And his best years for trying to do the NFL were taken. Right. But once he got exonerated, someone from the Seattle Seahawks, one of the coaches, he knew him because I think that was his coach in high school or whatever. They, you know, let him go ahead and go into the NFL.
Wow,
this is after he got out of the prison.
Wow.
And, you know, he was able to go into the NFL and things like that. Yes. And so, you know, this stuff is so serious. Like, when an allegation is made, I mean, it really should and must be honest and truthful. Because when people bring false allegations against others, I mean, lives can be shattered over lies. Over lies. And so, you know, yes, I'm sure that there are true victims of sexual crimes. But I also do believe that there's a percentage where it could be like the sour grapes. It could be oh, well, I'm just going to go after him for some money now because now he turned into something, you know, like now he's got a lot of bank. Okay, I'm going to try to go after it, you know. So it's hard to try to find the truth in these things, you know, I think. So, absolutely. But I think we've had a great discussion today. Yes, I do. And I think this would be a good place to do our last brief break.
Yeah, well, on the lighter side, I have a favorite preacher. Well, you know her, Joyce Myers. She's on TV a lot. Yes. Her testimony is she was raped by the father repeatedly.
Her father?
Her own father, and her mother blamed her for it. And so this happened for years. This happened for years, and then she grew up as a very angry person, you know, very, very angry person, and she thought that she was damaged goods. So she ended up with drug pusher. And then that guy, that man in her life left her, and when she was about to commit suicide,
All
that-
these things we just
yeah.
were reading about.
Yes.
that's when God encountered her
Amen.
and turned her life around.
Amen.
And now she, ended up getting married to a Christian man who said, Lord, please give me a difficult woman. And he was given Joyce Meyer.
Right.
She was really difficult in the beginning to deal with. She had a lot of anger because of her PTSD from the past.
Everything that was saying.
And her
Touching
main...
on these very steps
Yes.
that we just read.
And when you go to her conferences, the first thing that she says, I know that God can make something out of nothing because I was nothing and he made something out of me. He said.
Amen.
Yeah.
And that's that beauty that can come out of the ashes.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
touched
the
on.
beauty for ashes. Yeah.
You know, that's something
Yes.
beautiful that can come out of what appears to be, the absolute worst situation
Yes.
or circumstances. We can be used to help be a witness.
Talk about grace with a big capital letter G.
Right.
To help be a witness and to
Yeah.
share, our testimony
Yes.
about, what we've been able to overcome.
Yeah.
With his life. I mean, life is just hard. It's hard. Nobody escapes. Nobody can have a super easy life. I think
Yes.
we all have gone through different things,
Yes.
and and everything. So it's real talk, and these things that we're discussing. It may have touched some of you in our audience. These things, and if you're the perpetrator of these things, well, it needs to stop. It needs to stop. This is just terrible. Too many people's lives are being affected by this craziness.
Yeah, it is.
So
it is.
but okay, so we're gonna go ahead and take our last quick break, and we'll do a quick wrap up before we close our show. So thank you so much for staying with us and tuning in as we are talking about something that affects so many Americans. And if it's not you, it's someone that you know.
Right.
This statistic says 1 in 6. Most of us know at least 6 ladies. And then we also learned that 1 in 10 of victims of rape are men.
Amen.
Right.
And so it's not just the women. There are men's
Men
lives
too.
who've been touched by these terrible things as well.
And sometimes even animals. Oh my God.
Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, that
so-
might be a whole nother show.
Right.
Yeah,
That's
whole
something
nother-
else.
Yeah. So please stay tuned. We will be right back with our third and final segment. So don't go anywhere. Thank you.
Promise.
A fairy tale they say, real and no.
Social media shows network were initiated in 2017. Since then, our founder Maria Pureza never stopped developing a system on social media. In building a network of passionate people that loves to entertain, coach, help others, and deliver informative information to the public, informally, in a low-cost production. She built a platform that surpassed Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and other social media live streaming, but exceeded the function of a podcast. Her main goal is to be able to broadcast on social media like a traditional TV setup involving a group of broadcasters, YouTubers, podcasters, and social media live streamers. Maria is building the confidence of non-actors and non-famous people that joins her to network. We are here to promote and support one another, to help our community grow collectively without inhibitions but with confidence and high self-esteem. We love to be in this family together. Our door is open to help you build your brand, opening opportunities for others, and outreach to our community. We welcome you to the family of social media shows.
Thank you to our affiliates who trusted and hold us by the hand. We truly appreciate your support and we are looking forward to a longer relationships. GI Connections. VIP Vacations. James Presley Recording Studio. Power X Energy Drinks. Moke Experience. 22.3 Takeover Vegas Radio. Revolution Radio 2, Rhythm Vision, Westgate Resorts Las Vegas, The Giving Water, Whalers Creation, The Funk Jam, The Iron Monk Tattoo Society, GG Chic, Las Vegas Entertainment, Fantasy at Luxor, Action Shot Productions. Ask us to learn more how to be part of our affiliate today.
A fairy tale they say, real in every way.
Hi, my name is Tai, and I'm a fashionista. Hi.
Cool.
Welcome back to Honeybees. Thank you so much for tuning in. My name is Tai. This is the lovely
Delores.
And
I'm JC, and we're back with more French fries.
Right.
and here we have the
And
lovely
Tabatha.
Yes. So thank you so much for tuning.
Give it to the ladies.
Tuning
On
in.
that side.
She's like, you guys.
Here, let's do one last shout out to our folks who've tuned in. Let's see. Who has tuned in since? Okay. Okay, so I would like to give a shout out to Willie, to Samantha, to Kyle, to Annette, Roger, Tara, Barbara, Olga, Nation. I think he tuned in earlier and I forgot to mention. But thank you so much to all of you for tuning in. Tabatha, do you have any friends to say hi to?
I do.
Any new ones? Okay.
Bianca, Marcus, Carlos, Brad, Tracy, Haywood, Monica, Valerie, Patrick, Mike, Jessica, Jasmine, John, and Amber.
Awesome. Oh, and I think I forgot to mention Barbara and Olga if I didn't. Thank you, ladies, as well.
I'd like to
Dolores?
say hello to Ted Martin and Aldo Mencanto. And who else? Sachet. Hello, Sachet. Sachet Chante.
Right.
Sorry about that.
Yes.
And I would like to say hello to Donald. He's been on for a while. Thank you so
Nice.
much for tuning in.
Awesome.
Thank you.
And there's some other folks on here too. Again, my allergies in my eyes blare all the way up.
Is it okay if we read the name?
Yeah, you can go ahead.
Is that
and read
okay?
it. Yeah. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Okay, so Jonathan and Deacon Harold,
Donald Green.
to Ray
Shepherd.
and Tommy,
Daryl.
to Daryl. Yes. Oh, she's got a few more. And to Brian,
Wanda.
Wanda, Barry, Terrence, Kenneth,
Oh, yeah, Wanda Berry. Yeah, I know who she is.
Amanda, Rohit, sorry if I'm mispronouncing your name, and Tony.
Tony.
All right, thank
Okay,
you
yeah.
so much for tuning in.
Yes. Oh, and Sure Will, Howard, and Lovey. Yes. So, thank you so much to each and every one of you for tuning in. We really appreciate your love and support. And, you know, where would we be without you? So,
I know.
Talking
Right,
to
that's
ourselves.
right.
We'd be
Yep.
talking to the
All
and to the wall.
all this good conversation just stay right here,
Right here.
right here at
It
this
was
table,
lonely,
right?
right.
So, but we're going to go ahead and we're wrapping up our topic for today, where we discussed, where we've been discussing rape and sexual harassment here in our country. I wanted just to share a couple more stats, and then we'll kind of give our closing thoughts. When it comes to rape, to crime reports, they've mentioned, I have a stat here from nsvrc.org. It says that rape is the most underreported crime.
Oh my goodness.
The most
'Cause it's so personal.
underreported crime.
Yeah. Yeah. It is.
And they said they say that 63% of sexual assaults are not reported to police.
That's crazy.
63%.
Crazy.
So that's over
it's
half.
true.
One every
Yeah, it's
73
true.
seconds
Right.
just kind of doubled.
Oh, yes.
So many of these crimes go unreported. And they said that the prevalence, now this touches on what we were just talking about right before the break. It says prevalence of false reporting is low. They think it's between 2 to 10%. So they think that about 2 to 10% of rape accusations are false. They said that they've done a study of 8 major U.S. Communities, which found that, which included about 2,000 sexual cases of sexual assault, and they found that 7.1% of the reports on rape were false. So they think about 7.1% were false. So they argue that most of these accusations are legit accusations, with a small percentage of false claims. So yes, we have a problem here with sexual crimes being committed against women, against men, and yeah, I hope there's something that can be done.
Right.
I hope there's something that can be done to try to turn this tide, because right now it just seems like too many lives have been touched by this craziness. So So what do you think, JC?
The most staggering thing is this thing happens in religious institutions as well.
Yeah, nobody is
nobody is. I know a lady who was molested by a priest.
Oh, wow.
When she was a young girl,
Mm-hmm.
just because her parents come from a very influential family, and her teachers were priests, and
Right.
I don't want to make the story any longer, but you guys get the picture.
Right.
What happened? Well, thank God that it didn't go too far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Choosing between two evils.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And you're right. People in positions of power, and it could be within a religious institution or any other kind of institution. Sometimes people get big-headed with the power.
I know. A man of the cloth. Imagine.
They think that they can just do what they want to do. Some I've heard would argue in the cases of, like, say, within the Catholic Church, which has been plagued a lot lately with allegations. Some have argued, well, maybe if the clergymen can marry, maybe that might help curb these things.
I mean, that's so logical. You know what I mean? It's so logical. But they want to. I would think that they want to preserve tradition at this point more than
right, and
vying for a little change.
Right, and the Pope, I read an article that just within these last about a month or so, that he said that he's not going to allow the clergymen to marry.
Zero tolerance.
And it's in no way does that excuse any perpetrator's behavior for committing these acts against the children or the young people, because there's no excuse.
But you have to see the common sense.
Yes,
it is
exactly.
It would help alleviate.
A vow of celibacy. Come on.
Celibacy. That.
Yes. Come on. Now.
People. It may be time to consider changing things. When it kind of goes, it seems to go against the natural grain of people. Like people, have. I don't know, but I've heard people argue that maybe they need to dial that back so that people can do certain things, and maybe that might help with those things. But it's no means okay ever. So okay, so JC, do you have anything else you want to say as we wrap up?
That's it, basically, that there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Oh, for sure.
Like I shared Joyce Meyer's life, how she was raped by her own dad, and then later on met God along the way. And now she became a very famous preacher around the world. And me personally, my coming out of of darkness, of how I was molested in the movie theater. Because that was such a traumatizing experience. I mean,
Yeah.
If not for the family of God and God Himself, I would probably still be carrying that thing. But now I say it without any hurt or anything because I'm no longer attached to that. That event doesn't define who I am.
Very true. The event
Yes,
does not
yes.
define who you are.
Yeah.
That's
Very
right.
valid.
You are more than what happened
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah.
You are
That's
more than
right.
what you are a victim. That you are a victim of.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story today. Again, I thank you to each and every to everyone because we're on a social media platform and sharing your stories. I hope that it helps it helps connect to people, others who may have gone through similar experiences. I hope that it's inspiring, that it help uplift and to let others know that they're not alone.
Yes.
That there's others who've gone through these things.
And there's
Absolutely.
hope for all.
Hope
There's hope
for
for
all,
all
yes.
that has been through it. Like I've been through it. I think it was age 16. Yeah, it was
Oh,
age
my
16.
goodness.
I think. And so that was, that was a experience that was very frightening. And so, but we all, like I said, it's hope for all.
Yes.
And then what we do is just really go to our Creator and just pray about things. And that's the best. And just keep on moving on with your life. Don't feel bad for yourself. Just learn to love yourself.
And that is now your testimony.
Yes.
Of how he not to cram our beliefs down your throats because maybe there are atheists out there.
Oh yeah.
If you don't believe in God, like we respect you for that. I'm not gonna run after you like you're going to hell. I'm not going
that
to.
way.
You're down.
We're not going down with a pitchfork or anything.
Hell,
No, we're
fire
not
and
doing that.
brimstone. No.
No.
Right.
So
Yes. Tabitha, do you have any closing remarks that you'd like to share before we
I
go?
think my closing thoughts are simply don't be afraid to have the scary conversations because those
Yeah.
scary
Yeah,
conversations
I
that
like that.
we have
like
with
that.
our kids and
Yeah.
our friends
That's right.
are preventative. Preventative in the respect that from eliminating continuous trauma. If you've had the conversation and then have a child or a friend that feels comfortable bringing it to somebody's attention, and then as well from hopefully alleviating the problem to begin with. So it's not all roses out there.
No,
You've
it's
got to
not.
talk about
That's
the
right.
tough stuff.
It's not.
That's
That's
the
right.
information our kids need most.
Yes.
But
Thank you.
isn't it fascinating that that's what makes us, our
That's right.
Are
past
the trials and
experiences
tribulations
and how we've
experiences.
overcome all those things. I mean,
That's right.
look at you, how I admire you, what you've become, and you're
Yes.
funny. I mean, even on
She is.
Funny
Facebook.
looking.
No. Even your post on
That's my
Facebook.
standard response for
Well,
that.
and she's got a soft, and sultry and sexy voice. Yeah.
I know Tabitha got a sexy
Yes.
voice. Yeah.
Sexy voice.
I like that.
Yes, her sexy
Girl, that's
voice.
killing me, girl.
Yeah.
So silly. I was working at USAA writing insurance policies, and this gentleman said to me one day, "Wow, you should be a sex phone operator."
Yes,
This was
yes,
years ago.
yes,
And I'm like, "Sir, you know that these
Oh
calls
my
are listened to,
God.
right?"
My goodness.
And he's like, "Well, let him know that you've got potential."
She brought sexy back to honeybees. Oops, with her
Brought
voice.
sexy back to honeybees, girl. I brought the chaos to honeybees, okay? That's what I brought to honeybees, the chaos. Oh, wait, and the fire.
Oh,
the chaos
yes.
and the
Well,
fire.
I'm
Fire.
sure, darling, that
Right.
you'll make them sweat.
Oh, I do make them sweat, for sure.
All right.
Good talk today, guys.
Alrighty.
So yes. Thank you so much for everyone's input. I appreciate it. I would just like to say, I think that I would like to encourage any of us who have been the victim of these things to these different acts against us, these different crimes, to seek help.
Certainly.
Talk with a confidant. See a counselor. Talk with someone at your religious institution or something, but try to talk share your experience. Maybe not keep it all bottled up inside.
That's right.
There's healing, and
Yeah.
there can be healing, and sharing your story, seeking help. I'm sure there's different groups online, maybe in your community, you know, but try to see about letting it out, so that, like you're saying, so we're not, you know, walking around with that ball and chained to that to that experience, where it's weighing us down. These shackles, we're bound by these terrible things that have happened to us. So that'd kind of be my last bit. Is,
Let me mention one other thing before you wrap it up and talk for just another moment. Just going through the process, I've learned that when you do discuss it with law enforcement and whatnot, that automatically opens up thousands of dollars worth of therapy resources for you to get those things paid for.
Well,
so whether
thank you for sharing that.
Certainly, whether you press charges or not, or it goes to court or not, you literally don't have to do any of that. Just by making the report, it opens up those funds for you to be able to get specialized counseling.
That's amazing.
Okay.
And there's a couple other things that money can go to. But yeah. So just for a little bit of knowledge.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. And we would like to give a shout out to the different groups and institutions who help victims of sexual crimes.
Right.
We thank you for what you do. Yeah. We appreciate you. And if you would like to come on, so that we can help share your resources with our audience, we would love to have you. So please, reach out to us if you may be assisting with one of these groups that help victims of sexual crimes. So without further ado, thank you so much. It's been a good.
And also, I want to add Celebrate Recovery, who's helped a lot of people.
Nice.
Recover from so many different things, hurts, hang-ups.
I've never heard of them before.
Celebrate Recovery. I went through that. It's really good.
Oh, thank you.
That's a beautiful.
Is it through church or is it through?
Yeah, it's through church. They have it at Central, and I believe they have it in here, close by here, ICLV.
Okay.
International Church of Las Vegas.
And that's a beautiful.
Okay.
Beautiful
program.
Well, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. So yes, if you're helping one of those organizations that help victims, we would love to see about having you. All right. Well, it's been grand. I hope we all have taken something away valuable from this important discussion, and that has touched so many lives. And let's go forward
You mean lives?
Yeah, lives, yes. Let's go forward. Let's go forward and grow. Let's go forward and grow and love. And let's grow together in love. And let's help be that light. Let's help be that support for each other.
Yes, right on.
Self-defense course.
Oh, yes, and Bettina would like to say, if we one way to try to help fight these things is take some self-defense classes to help try to prevent yourself from being a victim and carrying mace.
And spray.
And be aware of your surroundings and all those things as well.
Okay,
right,
no more interruptions.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you so much. Thank you so much. And we look forward to seeing you next week at 5:00 Eastern Standard Time.
Until whenever.
Pacific Standard Time. Sorry.
Next week.
Pacific Standard Time next Tuesday right here. Honeybees, have a great week. We will see you next week. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Much love. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Right.
Let's give her a Coke.
We'll come back next week.
Much love.
Promise.
Much love.
Poor thing.
A fairy tale, they say, real in every way.
Hi, my name is Tai, and I am a fashionista. Hi.
My name's Dolly Wright, and I'm a singer, but I waitress for a living.
Hi, I'm Alicia, aka Catalina Winehouse with Ichigo.
Hi everybody, my name's David Thomas. What I am is a QMHA. I work with people with mental health issues, and I also do a Tina Turner show with the Big Elvis Show at the Piano Bar.
Hi, my name is Maria Pureza Leventhal. I am the founder of Social Media Show.
Hello everybody, I am Kiki Dolas. I am the CEO of Are You It Entertainment here in Las Vegas, and I'm also a club owner.
Hi, I'm Latoria Kern, founder and director of Family Arts at Wayla's Creation.
Hi, my name is Dawn Weir. I'm the founder of The Giving Water, a local nonprofit that delivers water to disasters and people in need.
Hi, my name is Delores Olsen. I'm a home-based business person for DJ and for Beachbody. Also, I'm a chaplain.
Hey, this is Bettina Steinhauer. I'm a clothing designer and manufacturer bathing suits.
Hi, my name is Jessica D, and I currently work for one of the biggest properties on the Strip. I'm also a PhD student, and I own a jewelry business on the side.
Hi, my name is Jamie Springer, and I am a eyelash extension technician or artist.
Your care and your loving smile, your sensitive and down to earth style, princess, oh princess.